1-800.
It's kind of always a trip when you hear your voice like on a mic like this, huh?
Well, yeah, it's like first time, you know.
That's right, dog.
Yeah, you're doing it professional.
Well, because
you're doing it ghetto style, man. This just made me realize how ghetto I was doing it.
Well, because the previous interviews you've done has been over
phone,
or like Skype or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing it through Skype.
I think we're live right now.
I like the in person.
100%, dog.
You get to feed off each other's energy. You know what I mean? You bring that good vibe. Everybody's on a good vibe. Everybody's in a good mood. It's like telling your story.
You know, bro, I had a female, very good looking female, bro. Mm-hmm. And she has a podcast, bro. And she says, hey, you know, bop, you know, let's, she wanted me to be on her podcast. And she said, you know, and I said, yeah, let's do it. Where you located at? And she goes, no, we're just going to do it over Skype. And I said, I don't do that. Yeah. I said, there's nothing personal about that. You know what I mean? There's nothing.
It completely deflates the energy. Didn't mean to interrupt you. It completely deflates the energy.
Absolutely. All right, we live right now. Oh, shit. Let's go. Let's play some music. And we're going to get it cracking, baby. Ooh, we got a motherfucking blockbuster motherfucking Thursday, baby. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. You on Hood Stocks, baby.
Shit just getting crazier and crazier.
The baddest podcast in LA.
The streets are undefeated. Not trying to promote violence, just saying protect your family. To anyone trespassing on one man's life, take note. The devil is alive and well, but so is God. Choose one. I stalk like a wolf. Pray I don't shoot. Muzzle on your face, I'm a problem for your ghost. I stalk like a wolf. Pray I don't shoot. Muzzle on your face, I'm a problem for your ghost.
I brought a gun with me, cause I'm ready for it all. Mama told me I was gifted, and I'm different from you all.
Yeah, pick the shells up, turn the hell up. Forever undefeated, the streets will fail us. Mom and pop screaming, God prepare us. Sometimes water comes in sand. God made the deal, I shook his hand like a man. Lucky you, my son, wipe the blood off those vans. Father, Lord in heaven, I'm a martyr to the brethren. I'm a burden to the reverend. Searching for significance, my spiritual endeavors. Every day I'm tested, every day corrected. My hands are in the air, God bulletproof vest me. Resurrect my senses, those were never bored. Lord, take me to your chamber. Teach me your ways out of love or with anger. I feel disgusted as I all up this musket. People taking lives out of ignorance is busted. They shooting up schools. Father with felonies, I got everything to lose. I stalk
hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's go.
On your face, I'm a problem for your ghost. I stalk like a wolf. Pray I don't shoot. Muzzle on your face, I'm a problem for your ghost.
I brought a gun with me, cause I'm ready for it all. Mama told me I was gifted, and I'm different from you all. Forgotten soldier, I'm just a victim of war. It was the cans of Jack Mac that I ate on the yard. It was the welfare lines I was the proud to wait on. It was my little girl's neck wrapping umbilical cords. I carry on, cause glory wait on no man. How I look blaming you for the commitment I lack. You the type to keep a bitch after she fuck with your man. They try and kill the homie cause she gave up the ass. I walk in class.
Yeah, the slow fade, baby, on a motherfucking Thursday. John McHugh, I see you, baby. Happy Thursday as well to you, brother. Shout out to my motherfucking Goonies. Shout out to the chat line already lighting this motherfucking bitch up. If you see the special lit up colors, those are individuals that have joined. And you are welcome to join too. You know what I mean? Hit that join. It's fucking $3 a month, baby. You know what I mean? That's a bag of hot Cheetos, homie. Don't play with it, dog. You know what I mean? And, what's the benefits? Look, what are you going to give me for $3 a month? I don't know. Maybe nothing. I'm not sure yet. I'm figuring it out. But I'll tell you this right now. I got about 15 packages going out tomorrow for the people that have joined already. Because, we do little things and shit. I said, man, the first comment, fucking do this and that, you know what I mean? And bam, packages are going out already, dog, with Hood Stocks apparel, merch, you know what I mean? Today's podcast is brought to you by, let's pay some bills real quick. Where we at? Today's podcast is brought to you by Glory Plumbing, Southern California. They're serving Southern California. If you check it out, I'm gonna tell you this, guys, right now. You know what I mean? So when I do these ads in the beginning of the podcast, let's be real about it. You know what I mean? These individuals placed the ad, they supported, they paid to have their ads on here. You know what I mean? So when you guys hear these ads, these are people that believe in this podcast. You know what I mean? And these are people that are investing in themselves and investing in this podcast by placing this ad. So please take these ads seriously, because these are real supporters of the podcast. These are companies that are on their way up, if they're not all the way up already, you know what I mean? And they chose to come here to place a fucking ad. And shout out to these individuals right here, you know what I mean? Glory Plumbing, serving Southern California. The vision to be the leading plumbing company in the industry. Value driven. Yes, sir. You got to be value driven, you know what I mean? Giving more value to our clients than money we take. Well, is that right? No, it's playing. Plumbing with a purpose. For every service we serve. Excuse me. I'm drinking this little fucking Ultra. You know what I mean? Some people might call it a bitch beer, but it's okay. For the black can. Yeah. What's underneath the black can?
That's my LA fuckboy drink right there.
Okay,
little high noon, little nooner.
Okay. We're going to get to that right now. Glory Plumbing, back to Glory Plumbing. Plumbing with a purpose. For every service, we serve others by giving those in need. Glory Plumbing. If you'd like to contact Glory Plumbing, if you need any type of plumbing service in your house, your apartment, your business, call these dudes, man. Call these dudes. Here's their email, gloryplumbing2021@gmail.com. And their phone number is 888-620-6444, leading the plumbing industry, Glory Plumbing. Also, we got this, you know what? I want you guys to do this too right here. We got this homie right here, and he has got to really, go to the website, CoachellaShirtDesign.com. You know what I mean? And I don't care if you leave right now to go check it out real quick, that's fine. Or if you're watching it on the laptop and you got your phone, just check out the homie shit, all right? For the best cannabis style clothing for men and women, check out High Maintenance Clothing. High Maintenance Clothing, they have over 80 styles for men and over 55 styles for women and counting. Most products ranging from $35. And you can see all the clothes exclusively at CoachellaShirtDesign.com. This is another homie that hits the, you know what? Sometimes when you place these ads, it's a risk. It's like, man, am I going to get anything out of it? You know what I mean? Well, it's up to us, right? It's up to us if we support these homies right here, these individuals, you know what I mean? CoachellaShirtDesign.com, Glory Plumbing, 888-620-6444. You know what I mean? Unclog, get that toilet unclogged, get some new piping, get the cold water over here, get the hot water up there, dog. I mean, fix your shit, dog. You know what I mean? And go and use these gentlemen, these individuals right here. Now, today, check it out. I'm gonna be real with you guys. This dude called me up, hit me up yesterday. He hit me up. We didn't have no plans for a podcast today, but he hit me up. He said, "Luck, check me out, my G. Bop, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. Been fucking with you, homie. Splitting my homie, this, that. Here's a couple of interviews I did." And usually it doesn't really happen that quick. But honestly, I was taken back by this dude's story. He was going to be in town. I said, fuck it, homie. Let's pop it. Let's make it happen. Everybody out of Orange County, California, everybody give it up for Dino, baby. Let's go.
What's good, Luck? What's good?
What up, baby?
I'm excited to be here, man.
I'm excited you're here, brother.
Yeah, I love the energy, man.
Absolutely.
Love the energy.
Energy is king, dog. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I feel it.
Yeah, frequencies are amazing, dog. Especially when, nothing's worse. I used to be this dude, dog, and I talked about it in the past, dog. I used to pride myself on stepping into a room and disrupting it, dog. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, this motherfucker right here. Fuck this dude, Lucky. I got to go. And I'll be like, nah, homie, you ain't going nowhere till I leave, dog. Why you got to go now, dog? You were just kicking it. You were smoking. You were macking on with this bitch right here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You going to bounce now? Because I pulled up now, homie. You ain't leaving till I'm leaving. And that was for a couple reasons, dog, because I said, in my head, I'm thinking this dude going to call the cops. He's going to drop a dime. Whoa, this, that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but now, bro, I try to reverse that energy into good energy, baby.
Yeah. It's all on how you come in. You know what I mean? If I would have came in here all on something like, hey, what's up? I'm Dino, Orange County, what's up? You guys would have been already bowed up, you know what I mean? But coming in hey, it's nothing but love. Hey, what you need, let's do this, wop, 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 let's do this. And I feel like it just sets the tone, you know what I mean? It sets the energy, I'm not a threat coming as a homie, and I just came to do a podcast and have a good time. You look like you're doing it right here, and I wanted to come be a part of it.
Let's go, baby. Dino. And at times, bro, we have them dudes that come in here that are like that, dog. Yeah. And you know what? I don't I don't like. They're not gonna pull me into the muddy waters with them. You know what I mean? You can potentially bro.
Yeah.
If we need to, bro, we step out this bitch and whatever, dog. But that is not the intention. Like when dudes come into this house, there are dudes that are like that, bro.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they got something to say, or they're feeling a certain way, or they're ready to go. Who knows? Maybe this game. I can't jump the gun, even though my motherfucking like vibration radars, dog, are gonna tell me. My gut don't ever lie to me, dog.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Sure
and sometimes I can feel like, all right, it's gonna be a rough one, or
I'm gonna have to steer this a certain way.
Yeah, this might be a little dangerous, but what I try to do is I really try to defuse any just bad frequencies, bro, with just like welcoming you with hospitable, good energy. You know what I mean?
I don't see the point, to be honest. You've been around long enough. I've been around long enough. I'm 44 years old now. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to come with good energy, and that's the only kind of people I want to surround myself with these days, is people that are on the same level or same mindset, good energy, good vibes, trying to have a good time, and just trying to keep it real.
You know, bro, and that's what I do to this day as well too, bro. Like you want to surround yourself with like-minded people, bro.
Yeah.
If you there's the old saying, if you lay with dogs, you're gonna get fleas and all that dumb shit, bro. But it's true, bro. Yeah. If you're hanging around dudes that are smoking meth, bro. And I don't do it, they do it, but sooner or later, homie, you're gonna end up doing that shit. Like it just is what it is, dog. So if you want to stay out of trouble, don't hang around dudes that are committing crimes, bro. Mm-hmm. If you want to make money, hang around dudes that are, on their way or already there,
about their paper,
and pick up some game, bro. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you're looking for God, homie. You know it, and you're in a crack house. Well, there's a fucking church down the street, bro. You're in the wrong place.
You hit that pookie enough, you might find them, but it ain't gonna be the one you want.
Hey, bro, shout out to the dudes, bro, that just lose their mind and all of a sudden they're just like fucking biblical. Yeah. They're like, fucking God sent me here. Fucking, you owe me $10. Like, dude, I know a cold story about a homie of mine. His stepdad came through and he was tweaked the fuck out. Yeah. He was yelling Bible verses, bro, out as he was trying to break into the fucking house. and as he said, my homeboy said that as soon as he seen the fucking glass get broke out one window and the glass fall down on his kids, bro, he fucking racked the fucking shotgun. Mm-hmm. He stepped out to his porch, bro. He stepped out to his porch, and this fool was a big dude. He came lunging to him.
He still came over?
Yeah, he came lunging to him on the porch, bro. And that fool said, boom. Blew him off the porch, and he got what do they call it when you get like he got like a fucking like a justifiable murder or something like that?
Because
justifiable homicide.
Yeah,
a justifiable homicide, bro. And the only reason too is because his chick was on the phone with the cop saying, "Hey, Step Pops is here. He's going crazy, but we need you guys to get him out of here, And it was
he did the right thing in that situation, you know what I mean? And if he's gonna get prosecuted for that, like I know it happens, but he's doing what any man on this earth is trained to do, is protect his family, and at all cost. And when he racked that shotgun, that dude if he was in his clear mind, he would have gone the other way. Any of us would have turned around and went the other way, been like, eh. But nah, he kept coming. So, your homie did the right thing in that situation. Yeah. I believe.
No, I believe it too, bro. Like you said, bro, you hit it on the nose. Key words: protect your family. Any means necessary, bro. You got to do what you got to do, dog. I see glass about to hitting my baby, bro, from this dude wilding out, coming because he was breaking all the windows. The way he tells this story is such a fucking...
Gives you chills?
It gives me 100% chills, dog, because he talks a play-by-play, bro, you know what I mean? And, he didn't want to kill the dude, but he was... The dude posed a threat, bro. Mm-hmm. The dude posed a threat, dog. And not everybody's gonna go out there and squabble with the dude. Some dudes are like, bro, you just too crazy, you too big. I'm gonna pump a slug in you, dog. You know what I mean? Well, and you're on the dude's property, bro.
At that point, it don't have nothing to do with fighting. That dude's trying to come towards your family. And if I got a gun in my hand, they ain't getting through me. You know what I mean? Fighting, dude might might get the best of you. Like, you never know. He might be on some other shit, but when it comes to, if you got a gun in your hand and you feel like you're at that point, like your homie, I'm sure knew he was at that point. Like there was nothing else he could do in that situation. So
he was scared out of his motherfucking mind, bro.
Heart shaking. He
was scared out of his motherfucking mind, bro.
Rightfully so, though. You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
Like, rightfully so. Like,
yeah.
Fuck, I couldn't imagine. I don't even.
And this dude isn't a gang member. He's just like a regular dude, bro.
Yeah.
He's a regular dude in the neighborhood, bro. And he was scared out of his fucking mind. He's like, this fucking dude was yelling Bible verses, like fluent Bible verses, like fucking
like John 3:16.
Yeah, bro. Like God sent me here.
Got all Tim Tebow on him coming up.
Yeah, bro. And that's just alone right there is just like fuck. They don't even. That's what they make movies out of shit like that, and half that shit is just not even real. But this is a real fucking life story, and it could really be made a movie out of. But anyways, brother, so kind of what got me with you, bro. I mean, it's easy, dog. Your pops is an LA County sheriff, or was an LA County sheriff.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Big Dean. He died. He passed away in 2005. But
okay, rest in peace to your father. Yeah. Absolutely, brother. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, LA County sheriff's son turns bank robber, bro. I mean, how do we, let's just start this story, brother.
Well, I mean, you can't write that shit, right?
No, you can't, bro. And so when you hit me with that, dog, I was just like, and then I seen that you had been on some other channels, and like I told you, I said, bro, usually I don't I don't redo other people's stories, bro. You know what I mean? Because I like to have just like the, the freshest, the newest, the rawest dudes on the streets. Some dudes don't even have Instagrams, bro, But sometimes I do it, bro, Yeah. But, you were on some other channels, bro, that were just like a Skype thing. Yeah. You weren't even in person with these dudes.
And that's what I was going to say is, I don't feel like the energy was the same. You know what I mean? Maybe the closest one was Josh from 23-1. That, he brought that out of me, you know what I mean? That was the energy that he brought to me. I'm not saying taking anything away from the other channels, but I mean, every channel has its thing, but and it all depends on who's interviewing you and the energy that they're coming with. It goes back to the energy, you know what I mean? And who's to say my energy was off that day or their energy? It
happens sometimes too. Yeah.
I just feel like that first interview, with Josh from 23-1, he was able to bring that out of me and kind of let the guard down. And that was my very first interview, ever.
And I watched some of it too. You did well.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you did well. I didn't watch too much of it because I don't like to. I hadn't heard your story before, so I like to hear it the first time right here, bro. And a lot of times people come in and they start talking about this and that. I'm like, hold on, dog. Wait till we go live, doggy, and we're gonna get this shit cracking. Yeah, you know what I mean? We'll get to that. You know what I mean?
Don't burn that first one out on me.
Yeah, moment of silence, baby. You drink one, smoke one, or do whatever you gotta do, dog. You know what I mean?
Go in the corner, pray, do what you
Yeah, here's a piece of chocolate. You like chocolate? Next thing you know, he's like, what the fuck was in that chocolate?
In that wavy bar?
Yeah, that wavy or that Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
I seen a Willy Wonka hopping around here a minute ago. You know what I mean? The golden
golden ticket.
The golden ticket. But so, shout out to that dude Josh, bro, because that dude really came up in the game of sharing stories from dudes all over the fucking map. Yep. And just from fucking on a Skype thing, bro.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I wonder what he would be able to do if he had an in studio, bro. Or if he would, I mean, some people, it's different, bro, because sometimes it's easier for certain people to talk to somebody that can't touch them.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. Well, you get the net bangers, you know what I mean? They almost feel comfortable back there where they can kind of get disrespectful or say what they want or anything like that. But when you can just reach across the table and grab me by my neck, you know what I mean?
Vice versa.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think that in person is where it's at, and like I told you before, man, that frequency that you got that dial on right now, keep that frequency because you're headed in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that, dog. You know what I mean? And it's something that we've been working on for a long time, bro. But lately I've been just really trying to dial in on having individuals like yourself on with legitimate fucking stories, bro. With bro. You can't beat a real motherfucking story, bro.
Nah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I can have a rapper on here that can tell us everything that he thinks he is, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then spit a fucking song, bro. And it's like, all right, that was cool, dog. Well, what have you been through? Let's hear a real story now, dog. You know what I mean? Like, oh, shit, dog. Where you get all them lyrics from, dog? You know what I mean? You know?
You lived it.
Yeah.
You lived it. You should be able to tell it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And tell it every time the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like we doing gangster rap a podcast, bro. You know what I mean? Or heavy metal or the blues or just some punk, homie. You know what I mean? Just the rawest form of fucking storytelling, dog.
Yep.
Which is real life.
1,000%. And like I said, man, if you don't get canceled first, you headed in the right direction. You trying to get canceled, huh?
Well, sometimes. Sometimes. But how you gonna cancel me, dog?
Nah, I ain't canceling you. I'm just fucking with you.
I mean, we talk about it.
Yeah.
What do we got to do to get canceled? If our numbers ain't going to go, well, then cancel us, bitch.
I feel any publicity is good publicity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's going to be like this, bro. Say one day Hoodstocks blows the fuck up, right? Then they're going to go back, bro, to all the videos, homie. And be like, hey, Lucky. Retard.
Fucking.
Yeah, Lucky was fucking referring to what do you call those transvestites as fucking avatars with boners and fucking dresses and shit, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, you know? That's fucking unsensitive, or that's, you know what I mean? Like, and I'll be like, you're right, and I did say that. Put that bitch on repeat.
Yeah, but the thing is like, real ones will own it.
100%,
and be like,
bro.
yep. Yeah, I said it, you know.
Yeah. And maybe
that's my bad. If like I feel differently now, you know, like that was at the time. And I think it sucks that they can go back on actors and pull shit up from 20, 25, 30 years ago, because I'm glad they didn't have cell phones when we were younger.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You would be canceled.
You know, bro, it's like this, dog. When somebody says, hey, look, remember you did this? And sometimes I don't remember, bro, because I'll be a little burned out from the meth or whatever the fuck, dog.
Yeah.
Or just fucking piles and piles of doing fucking stupid ass shit. You know what I mean? Some of the shit you forget about, bro, you know? And when I hear it, bro, I laugh, bro. Yeah. So I think if we ever get to that point and I hear that of someone, I'm going to sit back and laugh and enjoy it, bro.
Your first instinct's going to be to laugh.
Like, fucking dumb motherfucker. That shit was funny, though.
I'm pat on the back. That was a good one.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. So, you ready to go?
Let's go.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do this.
Dino time, baby. Dino time. Blockbuster Thursday, homie. Netflix is gonna fucking be mad about this. Spectrum's gonna cancel your Spectrum cable right now. So, brother, you were raised with a father. It's an LA County sheriff, bro. I mean, you know, that had to be, was he a sheriff since you were a child? Yeah,
so, we grew up in Orange County. Well, I was born at West Anaheim Hospital. Grew up in Orange County until I was 5 years old. But in that time period, he was a LA County sheriff. We were living in Buena Park at the time. He was a LA County sheriff in Compton, that area, those three cities right there during the 80s, during the worst time of, you know, when it was to be a sheriff. I don't know. Today's probably pretty bad too, but
yeah.
But back then, you know, like that was like when, you know, the gangs were super, super bad and crack was on the scene and everything was popping, you know, and he broke his back on the job and he got called to a domestic violence where this big ass black dude was beating the shit out of his girlfriend with, you know, I think he was just beating her up with his fist, but my dad busted in, you know, the guy picked him up. My dad was beating him over the head with this mag light. This is the story that he told me. Beating him over the head with this mag light, split his head open, and the guy just jumped out the window of a second-story balcony, landed on top of my dad. My dad broke his back. He got up, kicked my dad in the face, took his gun, tried to shoot him, but I guess the other cops were coming. He took off running. And I think they ended up killing him. And then so I remember me and my brother as young kids going and seeing my dad in the hospital, and he was laid up, tubes coming out of every, you know, hole he had. And yeah, it was bad. But I was young, so I mean,
How young were you?
I think I was think I was 4 or 5 at the time.
Okay.
And
that's young, bro.
yeah.
And you remember that?
I do. I mean, I don't like. I remember going and seeing him in the hospital because that stuck out to me.
100%. I mean, it was traumatizing.
Yeah.
It was a traumatizing time in your life. Like I remember things, bro. Like maybe like at 3, 4, bro.
Yeah.
But
which is
they
crazy.
weren't. But they weren't good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we remember traumatizing stages in our life.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. And so I remember staying with his partner. He had a friend that was on the force with him that they went through. What is it, police academy or sheriff's academy together. And so I remember staying with him because at that point, him and my mom had split up. My mom had moved out. She was living with her parents. And so from that point on, we went and stayed with my mom, you know, and there were drugs around, you know, I didn't get along with her dad. Her dad used to beat the shit out of me. You know, all my cousins were living there. Well, not all of them, but some of them. And so I was the oldest, so whenever they do something wrong, I get my ass whooped, you know, with a belt. And, you know, that's back when parents were allowed to use a belt, you know?
I go to school with belt marks on my face. Yeah, I remember that.
Right? My mom used to tape a wiffle ball bat and chase me around the backyard with that bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, that shit stings, dude. That wiffle ball bat, and she's got a little swing on her, too, Mom. Yeah. You remember that shit, don't you? But no, so we were living with my mom, my stepdad, and I remember drugs being around, and they weren't in a good position at that time. You know, they were doing methamphetamines, and
your mom's side was
my mom and my stepfather
were doing meth.
Yeah, and so I remember one time, you know, like me and my brother were young and jumping around in the room, and my stepdad came in and, you know, went to spank my brother with the belt, went to spank me. And I remember sticking my hand back there to block it, and the little belt buckle came around. You know, they had one of those little old school belt buckles with that little hook, and it caught my finger, and he pulled back, and it ripped my finger open.
Ouch.
And so I had to go to the hospital, get some stitches, you know, and then I think it was from that point on, we went to live with my father. You know, well, my dad at that time was out of the hospital. He had medically retired from LA County Sheriff's because he had a broken back, obviously. But that's what, you know, kicked off his pill addiction, you know, and he got into pills really bad. You know, at first he was able to maintain and, you know, be present and, you know, at least show that he was trying and being a good father. And I think it just got worse over time, like with any drug addict, you know what I mean? But it's a trip with my dad. Like it seemed like he was like the definition of functioning addict, you know what I mean? Like he could lose a job and get a better job.
What kind of work was he doing after his accident?
So he went to work for the fair up there, Fresno Fair. So he was, I think, like the CEO of the Fresno Fair, and then bounced around up there. But yeah, and then he got into promoting concerts. So then he started doing concerts at the fairgrounds, concerts for the radio stations, doing all kinds of.
That's kind of interesting though, bro. I mean, and for one thing, I think we missed a part, bro, because now you guys are in Fresno. But before that, you were in Orange County, and he was working out of Compton or something like that, you said?
Yeah, so then after he broke his back, we went to live with my mom and my stepdad. They were using, you know.
And where was that?
That was out in Palm Springs.
Palm Springs.
Yeah, so we were out in Palm Springs for about 3 years, and then up in Victorville for a year with her parents, with my mom's parents, and then.
Which was rough, like you said. You know what I mean?
I didn't want to be there anymore. You know what I mean?
So now your pops relocated to Fresno.
Yeah. So my grandparents had moved up to Fresno and, you know, started a business up in Fresno, California. And so once my dad, you know, had gotten himself well, he went up there to live with them.
Okay.
So when we first moved up there with my father, he was living with my grandparents.
Okay, absolutely. You know what I mean? There you go. Thank you for.
Had to connect that for you.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah. Jump around.
It's all good, brother. And but this is my job. Sometimes I gotta kind of like, you know what I mean, make sure we get that part of the story in. It's kind of interesting, bro, to me that your pops went from a sheriff, and now he's working the fucking fair circuit, bro.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of like, you know, like potentially making good money. Well, he was getting money still from the sheriff.
Oh yeah, well yeah, he got medically medically retired, so he's getting a monthly,
which is for the
rest of his life.
Rest of his life, which had to be decent, huh?
I mean, I think it was decent for back then. I don't know if it was what you could live on, but he, like I said, he got a job like pretty much right away with the fair system, and was putting on concerts to where I was like, this is later on down the road when he was doing it, but got to see Social D, Pennywise, Cottonmouth Kings, Tommy, like all these backstage partying with them.
Okay, yeah.
And that didn't help my dad's addiction. You know what I mean? No. Being around all these concert people. So he got like really bad into pills. And around that time when we were living up there in Fresno, at first, I didn't know any better. I think I moved up there when I was 10. And so from 10 to, 15, like I was just focused on hanging out with my friends in school. And then around 14, 15 is when I started noticing like, the pill behavior, and then 15 is when he gave me my first Vicodin. You know what I mean?
And why did he give you your first Vicodin? Did you twist an ankle? Or did you have a headache? You know what I mean?
I was sick.
You were sick.
Flu or something, and it was like a little shot of NyQuil with the Vicodin broken in the bottom, and I didn't know what it was, and he's like, just take it, and I took it, and I remember that freaking warm feeling that it came over me, and I had to have more, so I started getting into a stash, and like stealing pills, taking them to school, getting my buddies like, hey, check this out, this makes you feel, and like it just spread like wildfire. Like it got bad.
Okay. And this is around 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, 15, 16, 17, like, you're in high school, you're partying, I'm taking pills recreationally, like it's really not a big deal at that time, like if I had them, cool, if not, like I wasn't, I mean, I'm sure I was kicking, but I didn't notice it at the time, I didn't know what it was, like, I got, a head cold or whatever. And so after high school is when like I first broke my hand and got a prescription written to myself for the Vicodin. And then when I ran out, one of my buddies decided like, hey, I wonder how hard it is if we just call the pharmacy and act like we're the doctor. So that's what he did. And it worked. He called me in a refill, and we did that shit every week for like a year.
Is this kind of like a testament that white kids can get away with anything? Because a homie can't call and be like, "Hey, dog, I need some. I need a fucking Vicodin prescription.
Dr. Martinez.
I need a Vicodin subscription. I mean prescription. What do you call it, dog?
Right? Yeah.
And they're like, "Fool, get the fuck out of here."
4 to 6 every 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah, but the white dude call up and says, "Hey, this is Mr. Rogers.
This is Dr. Qua.
This is Dr. Quad." Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm fucking around, bro. But it's amazing sometimes, dog. Or not amazing, but it's just kind of funny and interesting at the same time that, I mean, certain kids can pull off certain things, and the other person on the other side of the phone ain't gonna think nothing of it. They're like, yeah, okay, sure, we're gonna fill the prescription. You know what I mean? And come on and pick it up in 30 minutes.
Insurance costs $5.
Yeah, that's. I mean.
Yeah, it was cool until I got arrested for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I was 20. I think I was 20 when I first got arrested for picking up my first fake prescription. Okay. And which they hit you with a commercial burglary charge on top of it, even though I walked in, I paid for the prescription and left with it. But if you enter a store with the intent to commit a crime, I guess it's commercial burglary.
Yeah.
So, that was my first little introduction to county jail.
Okay.
And up in Fresno too, which fuck that jail.
I mean, what kind of like for us that I haven't been to Fresno jail. I mean, why did you say? I mean, fuck any jail, right? No jails are fun, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what kind of kid you are and what kind of game you're on, sometimes they can be potentially fun. But I mean, what was your experience with the Fresno jail?
Well, so the Fresno jail was, I mean, obviously, bulldogs everywhere, and I wasn't up to game on any of that politics or anything at that time. So I'm just going into jail, you know, running my mouth, like trying to, you know, be a nice guy, be cool with everybody, and like opening my mouth, you know, about, you know, my dad was a sheriff and this and that, and yeah, I know.
So you
backfired.
You had absolutely no game.
idea.
But you had no game. You weren't. I mean, you were just around a bunch of regular
Fuck no,
dudes.
I was 20 years old. You know, like I didn't have.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't.
I wasn't around.
You weren't.
To answer your point, I wasn't around convicts at that time. You know what I mean?
But you were
like,
around just like regular good kids that just
like
were
regular,
just pulling the wool over the doctors, the pharmacist's eyes, and you guys kind of got a little pill thing going.
Trying to do that little, you know, white boy dumb shit, fucking. Trying to think that we're living in heaven, like fucking going to the lake every day taking pills that it's gonna last forever, and I got a fucking rude awakening real quick.
And you guys were just good kids. They just happened to.
I mean, we were knuckleheads, but I mean that's all there was to do up there. You know, it was in Clovis, and it was a small town, and you know it was pills and football and sports, and you know, kind of grew up like that way. But my dad was never around. My mom had still lived in Southern California at this time, like when we moved away from my mom's, her and my stepdad, after he like spanked.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh my God! Sorry about that.
After he had spanked me with that, like they stopped drugs right away. Like quit everything, turned their lives around, and are still killing it today. Like still, you know, the best.
Wait, what was the turnaround? Did they stop doing drugs?
When he spanked me. You know, when I stuck my hand back there and the belt buckle caught it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was enough to get my mom and my stepfather sober. Which, you know, like, they have no idea,
absolutely,
like, what that means to me.
100%, bro. I mean, good for them, and obviously it was good for you at the time, right? You know what I mean? A little bit.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, they changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though you were kind of going down your road, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was still young, but I was headed there, you know, like, and so... when I went to Fresno County Jail, like I said, I went in there and didn't go in with a closed mouth, and I got pulled into the hey, come back to the shower, dude. We gotta show you something. Whoop, whoop. And then, you know, I think 3 or 4 of them, the Bulldogs, jumped me
because
it wasn't even the whites either. Like that was the thing. I think there was a couple white boys in there, but like.
They were just like, you're on your own, bro. You're talking about a cop as your dad.
You over there, you loudmouth. You need this.
Well, you were so green, bro. You were so just like you had no idea, bro. But you thought going in there and being like, hey, you know, you thought you were bragging or something. Yeah. Hey, my dad's used to be a cop, you know.
Yeah. Like it wasn't like that. It was just I think it came out to one of the Bulldogs, and then he like pressed the issue. You know, he went and told everybody, you know, all his homies or whatever, and then they decided to, you know, I guess, you know, punish me for it.
Yeah. And so what did they do? They took you to the showers and beat the shit out of you? Or what?
Yeah, just, you know, put a whooping on me. You know, I mean, it could have gone worse, you know, like if you think about it, like what they were probably supposed to do. But, you know, I mean, so I remember getting bailed out, like, and.
Well, hold on a second. So after they beat the shit out of you, what'd you do? You just kind of like crawled back to your bunk and.
Yeah, so the cops came in, you know, they came in and grabbed me. And then, like, They took me to the hole. They took them to the hole, and it was like just during that time is when I got bailed out.
Got you. Okay.
And so I got bailed out. My homie picked me up, and I remember, dude, my face was lumped. You know, like I was swolled up, and that was the last time I ever opened my mouth in jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a good thing to be talking about. Yeah, my family's law enforcement. You know, it's not.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you know,
it's
better to say, hey, my mom's a fucking meth head. You know what I mean? You know, believe it or not, bro, in an environment like that, dog, it's better to say fucking. The worst case, I mean.
Or it was like later on down the road, like when I finally did end up going to prison, like my people knew, you know, my whole backstory.
100%.
They already knew, like, okay, you know, his pops is obviously not a sheriff anymore. He lost his dad. You know, and he's a fucking knucklehead too, because, you know, I'm out there doing dumb shit. And
so you get bailed out, bro. Mm-hmm. You get bailed out from filling out fake prescriptions. Yep. And what are we doing from there, bro?
So, like, my family decided that, you know, Fresno wasn't a good environment for me. So you take the pill head out of the the town, but you ain't gonna take the town on the pillhead. So
I think they made a rap song about that.
So I had end up moving down to Southern California with the girl I was dating at the time, and at this time, my dad was living back in Southern California. Like he had kind of started, like lost all the jobs up in Fresno, Madera, you know, got outed by everyone, you know, like pills just, he wasn't able to, it's a small town, you know what I mean?
He burned some bridges.
Yeah.
Let's say we burned some bridges. He
Yeah,
owed
you
some
either
money.
love them or you hate them. So every time I'm up there, like visiting my grandparents or something, somebody's like, hey, your name's Dean Hargrove? Like, yeah, like, you know, square up a little bit. Like, is he going to swing on me or is he going to give me a hug?
Yeah.
You know? And so...
And then a fucking avatar pops out with a boner and a dress and kisses you on the mouth. I know how that story ends, dog. Check it out, bro.
Right.
I need a little back information, a backstory of your pops. Do you have any idea, I mean, of what kind of sheriff he was when he was active duty? Was he a hardcore dude? Was he, you know, take no bullshit, like by the book, you know?
Nah, I've been, that used to be like when I was younger, that was like one of my favorite things to do is sit around, listen to him and like his old buddies tell stories, you know, like they were fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they had their own bars they went to. I think my dad wrote 2 speeding tickets and the whole time he was a cop. And one, he said he was at a traffic stop and they had flares on the ground and a truck came speeding through and hit the flare and the flare like got up on his pants. And there was a dude there was a dude sitting there on his motorcycle, started laughing at him. So he wrote him a ticket.
Yeah.
You know, just
like, fuck you,
yeah,
homie.
like, fuck you, because I can.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
But yeah, they used to do all kinds of fucked up shit.
I mean, if I was a cop, bro, and I rolled up to a female, dog, and I asked her for a number, she didn't fucking give me her number, dog, I got to give her a ticket now, dog. You know what I mean? For something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or put her in handcuffs.
Yeah, you getting, what am I getting rid of for? You're overweight, bitch. You know what I mean? You know? And that fucking sidewalk you're on is only suitable for 500 pounds. And you're like 550 for sure. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I think if I was a police officer, man, maybe I would have too much fun with that shit, bro.
I mean, think about it. Like, they were probably just us with badges. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
I guarantee you, like, if they didn't go that route, the majority of them probably would have ended up in prison.
Well, obviously, your pops, it tells a little bit about the person that he was, bro, that, you know, some police officers are like, no, I'm not going to take, I broke my back, but I'm not taking anything that's going to, you know, that's going to be potentially addictive or whatnot, just because they're so hardcore, like, this is who I am, this is what I represent. But your pops, I guess maybe, but we could look at it on the flip side and say, well, you know, pops was in so much pain, he needed this, and he had there was no choice. Any man that broke his back and had so much pain as this individual had and got on these pills, I mean, they're highly addictive, and it could happen to anybody, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what you said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't the other way. It wasn't, you know, pills weren't going to be, you know, his worst enemy. They were going to be his best friend. And I think it was kind of the same similar, you know, feeling that he had, that I had, you know?
Yeah.
Of where he, you know, started taking it, like the way it felt, and, you know, couldn't get off it.
I mean, and I have another question for you, bro. Growing up with law enforcement in your background, bro, I mean, that's kind of like almost like a get out of jail type of free card, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You'll tell me in a minute, bro, but like you can potentially feel like, well, I have family that's ex-law enforcement, and it can make a kid, maybe he feels like he's above the law. Mm-hmm. Did it make you feel like that?
Well, I don't know if it was well, I guess, yeah, because the way he carried himself, it was like the rules didn't apply. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we go to a hotel, and he's parking his car right in the front of the hotel and going in and telling the kid, like, hey, I'm a retired sheriff. You know, like, I might get called, like, even though you're not working no more, I might get called in the middle of the night and somehow have his car parked right in the front of the hotel. Or, you know, like, he used it further on down the road, like, to where he was going into hospitals and flipping that badge and being able to convince these doctors to write them prescriptions for morphine and letting them leave with needles and, you know, all the opiates that he wanted. Because, you know, they think like, oh, he's ex-law enforcement. You know, he's not in here drug seeking. He doesn't fit the stereotypical drug-seeking type.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any idea where that badge is at right now?
dude.
No, just fucking with you.
One time so we were going to a strip club one time. I'm 19 years old. We're going to a strip club, and I'm not even old enough to be in there. He gave me his retired sheriff's badge to show the guy at the front door, and somehow we got in. You know?
Makes sense to me.
I mean, you
show a real badge to fucking security guards. You know what I mean? What the fuck they gonna do? They're gonna split like the Red Sea and be like, "Yeah, go ahead."
And we tried to make it, but we couldn't.
That's funny. And so you get out on bail, bro. You're fucking lumped up. Your homies looking at you like, bro, what the fuck, dog? You know, and what are we doing from there, brother?
So, I mean, that night, like, we went over to a couple girls' house that we know. He was talking to one of them, I was talking to the other, and the girl that he was talking to had a couple of guy friends over, you know, and I'm just getting out of jail, wanting to relax, chill, like not do shit, you know what I mean? And I just did a long ass stint, you know, 3 days, came out all yoked up, and we're sitting there.
Did you say 3 days, bro?
We're sitting there.
Did about 150 push-ups within 3 days, and I was on swole.
Came out swole. And so I'm sitting on the bed, and I hear motherfucker, and you know, my homeboy's pushing these guys. There's 3 of them. There's 2 of us. And my homeboy's pushing these guys out the door. Come on, Dino. Of course, your boy is getting ready to throw down. Like, you got to run out there whether, you know, you know what's going on or not. And so ran out there. We got down, and I remember 2 of them. Well, all 3 of them jumped on my boy, and I remember running up and kicking the biggest one square in the face, like as hard as I could. And this dude just looked up at me like, "Really? You just did that?"
Damn, that's when you know you fucked up.
Well, that's when you dance around, you know, try to act like bobbing and weaving. I look like Jim Carrey and me, myself, and Irene, you know, bobbing around like. And then he just, thank God I got split up before I could find out what he could do. But you know, but yeah, that was my first encounter with being in jail. So then we moved down to Southern California, and that's where like I got a hold of an actual prescription pad. I was like, one of my homies had brought me a empty. This was before triplicate prescriptions, because now today, like, you write any opiates or anything like that, it's got to be on like 3 pieces of paper. You gotta, you know, one gets mailed to the DEA, one goes to the doctor, one goes home or to the pharmacy.
Oh, is that how they do it now, bro?
Yeah.
One gets mailed to DA or something?
The DEA. So
the
I guess
DEA?
I mean, this, from what I know, it's been a long time, but
Damn.
like I think they keep super like really good records on keeping track of those things, because I mean, it could fall into the wrong hands, you know. And so these little prescription pads were just little pieces of paper like this back in the day. You know, doctor sign it, hand it to you, you take it to the pharmacy.
Yeah.
So I got a hold of that and went to Kinko's, whited out the phone number, whited out the address, did all that, and then put in the girl I was dating at the time, put in her cell phone number, put in Huntington Beach address. It wasn't our address, and then kept making copies until I got like every little black smudge off, you know what I mean? You put that little piece of paper over it, make a copy, you're like, I gotta white it out a little bit. Man, if I would have put half as much effort into finding a job at this point, like, I could have done pretty well for myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I'm there trying to make these fake prescriptions, and I get it honed in, you know. I'm over there with the freaking paper cutter, getting it all tight, you know, measuring that shit like I'm in arts and crafts and everything.
You're professional,
you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm making a paper fucking mache. And so then I, you know, figure out how to write a prescription for Norcos, write a prescription for Percocet, write a prescription for Xanax. You want 100 Xanax? And then I was just taking them into these little pharmacies all around Orange County and, you know, passing it in, and they'd get on the phone, pick up the phone and call the number on the prescription. And it'd be my girlfriend out in the car, and Dr. Qua's office. And yeah, Dr. Qua probably knows. So his real name ain't Dr. Qua. Yes.
Fucking Dr. Qua somewhere fucking itching his palms right now. He's like, I don't know why these palms are so itchy right now.
Yeah, man, why did I write so many scripts in 2001? So, so I was like, I like I was like a freaking accountant, man. I was keeping track of these prescriptions like on a ledger because I was doing. I'd go pick up 3 a day, and that like at that point is when I got a really, really bad pill problem. That's when I was like up to taking, and I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, you can't take that many," and then like, believe me, I didn't start off taking this many, but when you have unlimited amounts of, you know, Vicodin, Norcos, Percocet, stuff like that at your fingertips, you build up a tolerance, like with anything. And so, you know, I'd get up in the morning and pop 8 to 10 Norcos just to get out of bed. You know, I was taking 40 to 50 to 60 a day.
And so that's a fucking grip, bro. And that's
dude, my liver was shot. Like I was throwing up every time I take them. Like
you build a tolerance.
Picking the pills up and eating them again. You know, like you get to that point where you're just like, you don't care. You know what I mean? Like you have to do whatever you can to get well. You know what I mean?
And when you're taking that amount of Norcos, I can imagine it's probably hitting like heroin or something, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a sick ass knot or what?
But then, you know, talking to a doctor or a pharmacist later, they're like, you could have taken 3 of them and gotten the same effect. When you take past a certain amount, like it's just the same effect. You know what I mean? So, but here we are in our head, like, oh, I got to take 10 to get well. I got to take 8 to get well. You know what I mean? And so
it's the power of addiction.
Yeah. So I had this ledger that I was keeping track of what pharmacy we'd go to, how many I picked up, what name I used, what the birth date was, all the information. So when in a month, when it came back around, like I would hit all these other pharmacies all over Orange County, Long Beach, LA. Oh, that's why I know how to get all through here. Like hitting every mom and pop pharmacy I could find. You know what I mean?
And you had a ledger. You were fucking...
Dude, like this thick. Like for it was probably... I mean, no joke, dude, for like 18 months that I was doing this. And like selling pills, getting enough money to pay for the pills the next day. And that's what I did. Lived day to day, just doing this.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, picking up 200-300 Norcos. You know, me and my girlfriend, we had a stupid pill problem at that time. So, you know, it was no kind of life to live. We were living right down in Huntington Beach, too, like right in the heart of it. 15th and Orange. I'll never forget. Never forget when Huntington Beach narcotics team kicked in that door.
I mean, it's to me, bro, maybe I'm just a little more fucking, I don't know, more fucking street or whatever you want to call it, bro. But like pills, bro, were just, I know because I hear so many stories, bro. But it almost sounds almost silly, dog, to me, bro. They're like, damn, you can get fucking addicted to fucking pills because, you know, we were just doing the you know, the meth, the fucking the crack cocaine. I mean, like, to me back then, now it's differently, bro. But back then, I would have laughed at that, bro. Like, pills, get the fuck out of here, dog. Where's the sack at, homie? I mean, like, what we doing? We doing real drugs, bro? We fucking around with some fucking, you know what I mean? But then again, that the pill game has a stigma to it that it's kind of like a rich white kid thing, bro. Mm-hmm. You know, so here you are, white. I don't know if you're rich, maybe not, but you're in Orange County, bro. So that's what was popping. I mean, different things are popping in different areas. You go to South Central, you know what I mean? You're gonna smoke crack, homie. You go over here, you're gonna smoke meth. You know what I mean? I mean, it's funny the way that goes, though, isn't it, dog?
I mean, I think it's all, you know, situational and definitely societal. You know, like I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm gonna keep rolling like it is.
Sounds good to me, sir.
But yeah, I just feel like it's, you know, the crowd you're running with because, like, I did get introduced to those drugs, but it was just later on down the road. You know what I mean?
But it's, you know what? Check it out, bro. One time, I think we had some females, bro. They were from out that way, and we busted out that shit, and they were like, you guys do that? And we were like fucking dirtbag. They were like, meth? You know what I mean? Like, bro, they were like 100% like,
turned off.
They were like, we're the fucking out of here. We're used to hanging around dudes like Dino that just they have all the pills, you know what I mean? You know, but that's funny though, bro. But then you can get these hyenas from the hood that go out to you and they're like, what are you guys doing? What are those motherfucking vitamins? You know?
Little did they know at that time, like I wasn't even coming out of the house. That's how bad my pill addiction was. Like,
how do you not come out of the house from a pill addiction?
Like it was strictly to go to the pharmacy, get what I needed to go to the next pharmacy, and then get something to eat on the way back, and just be because when you have that like much of a pill addiction, like it takes over your life. You know what I mean? I can't function like that. I'm sick half the time. Like I'm throwing up. Like I'm knotted out. You know, it's basically heroin. That same like a PG-13 heroin. Yeah. And then like you just. That was the thing at that time. You know?
I mean, if you go into a house, bro, and everybody's popping pills, what kind of recreational activities do we have going on in there? Because I know recreational activities we have on if we go into a house where everyone's doing ecstasy, or you go to a house where everyone's doing meth. I mean, there could be a range of things. Dude's working in the car. This dude's jacking off over here, dog. This motherfucker is fucking. This bitch is picking her face, and she got her arms, and she got the long sleeves now because she done picked everything off the motherfucking shit. I mean, there's just what kind of recreation? What do we do? What's the party with having pills, bro? Is it sex? Is it little alcohol with it? Or is it everyone's just nodded the fuck out?
Yeah, it's cigarette burns in my sweats and watching fucking Big Lebowski.
Who washes the dishes?
Fuck them dishes, man. Like we eating out. Like that dishes, yeah, the dishes are stacked high. The place is a shithole. Like you'd walk in and even being strung out on meth, you'd probably be like, fuck, I gotta clean this place, like, or I got, like I don't want to be here. These motherfuckers are grimy, like dirty ass white people. I don't know. This is how white people live. It just changed the whole stigma for you.
Yeah, but this is in Huntington Beach though, so it's a little different. You know what I mean? And so it's something that's kind of like it's what's in out there. And so I mean, where do we go, bro? You said for 18 months? Is that what you said? 18 months, bro. Months. You're hitting all these fucking pharmacies and shit, and you're just fucking doing it to stay well, bro.
Yep.
You just to stay well.
At that point, it was a job. You know what I mean? Like, it had already blown past the, doing it to feel good or having a good time doing it. Now it's strictly to stay well. Just to feed my addiction and stay well. I mean,
when females are addicted to like pills and shit, and you're the dude that's got the pills, bro. I mean, I guess in any drug scenario that could potentially be, you can be the man and you can be having shit thrown at you, right?
Yeah.
Is it like that?
I mean, like I said, like it was like, to be honest, like sex was the last thing on my mind. Like it was like full blown fucking addiction. You know what I mean? Like it was not wanting to see people leave the money under the mat. You know what I mean? Leave the money under the mat or leave the pills under the mat.
Like that.
Well, yeah, you're living like a dirtbag. You're embarrassed. There ain't no. Orange County, Huntington Beach girls gonna be like, oh, I want to take some pills, and come over there and be like, oh, this dude's sexy, like I'm fucking shot the fuck out, haven't showered in a week, cigarette burns in my, haven't shaved, smell like shit, trying to game them up, like, what's up, fucking sloppy.
Trying to game them up, smelling like a fucking...
Like a foot.
Yeah, smelling like a foot. There you go, dog. So you said 18 months, brother. So why only 18 months?
Well, yeah. So I remember like that very last night when I wasn't feeling good. I had taken too many. I was in the bathroom. I was throwing up, hugging that toilet. And I remember we lived on the second story, and I remember hearing those stairs, boom, 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 boom. You never forget that.
Yeah, bro.
That is, dude, even to this day, like I still, like if I hear like boom, 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 I either think it's a cell fight or it's the cops running up the stairs. You know what I mean?
Well, I got a thing, dog. When people come to my house, dog, and they knock on my door a certain way, dog.
Yeah.
And the first thing I'll do is be like, hey, dog, what the fuck, dog? Why you knocking on the fucking door like the cops, bro? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. I mean, I to this day, dog, I'm just, it's something that triggers me, bro. Like,
and you ain't even doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean?
Like text me that you're outside.
Shoot me an emoji.
It's 2022, sir. Shoot me that emoji with the needle and the blood coming out. I'll be out in a minute.
100.
Yeah. It's sorry, brother. Go ahead, dog. Good. Hey, can I get a Jack and Coke, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, dog.
Yeah, I'll take one of those little LA fuckboy drinks.
Yeah. Why do you call it LA fuckboy drink?
I don't know. I just feel like if I'm looking at Instagram and I picture someone drinking a High Noon there.
No, he wants an LA.
See, he thought that was an LA fuckboy.
He doesn't want the Chola drink, dog.
The Michelob Ultra.
What is that shit again, dog? Whoa, hey, good news. It's gluten-free, everybody. High Noon, Sun Sips, vodka and soda, watermelon made with real juice.
Spritzer.
What's next, sir? Flintstone vitamins?
Grab my bag.
Grab my bag. Grab my bag. My G, dog. Absolutely, dog. Yeah, go ahead and hand it to the homie right there, dog. And there's a trash can in the middle, too. Feel free to do whatever you want, dog. If you guys are, everybody like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? We about to get into the, you know, the good part of the story, even though it has been very good.
What are they saying?
We'll get to phone calls, bro. We'll get to phone calls. Don't let these dudes fuck you up.
Yeah.
Sometimes the last thing you can do is read that chat line. But I don't even know what they're saying, to be honest. I mean, so don't.
So hearing those cops run up those stairs, man, like I'll never forget it. And then I remember my girlfriend at the time. I remember her yelling my name, and then the door just hitting her in the hit her. She was in front of it, looking out the peephole, knocked her on the ground. And cops came around the corner, and I remember they had their gun pointed at me, and it was why are you laughing?
Because she got caught, bro. She was looking out the hole, and they kicked the door.
Yeah, they booted it, dude, like with the fucking battering ram.
Hell yeah, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry to hear that, dog.
Yeah, America's Funniest Home Video shit, you know, like bang.
I mean, that would have been a good one to see on Cops, bro. Because you know what does everybody watch when they're in jail? They love watching Cops.
Yeah.
They're like, dumbass, got busted for that shit. It's like, homie, what you in for, dog?
Yeah, and then they look next to him, and he sit next to him. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
He's like, hey, homie, we talking? What you calling a dumbass?
Dumbass, man. That's my cousin.
So they fucking kicked the door in, bro. Thank you, Munchie.
So Huntington Beach narcotics team booted the door in, came in, had us, at gunpoint, brought us all out, handcuffed on the couch, and started raiding the place, found, her brother was doing it also at the time. Like I kind of had put him up on game too. So he had his own little racket that he had going. I had some cash in the house too, but I took the rap, she didn't, even though she was involved, but why do both of us got to go down? You know what I mean?
I'd have thrown all the pills and cash on her lap, bro. And I'd have picked up a Bible.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
So
God, is that you?
They went down into the car, found the ledger, and found every single, it was basically like handing them a fucking felony book.
Yeah, bro.
Of everything.
All the crimes you committed.
Yeah, everything. Paper trail and everything. Hey, can I make it easier for you? I'll type this shit up,
Damn, bro. That's crazy, dog. That's almost as bad as dudes on Instagram fucking making a fucking video of them holding a gun and shit, dog. You know what I mean?
Mom walks in and starts beating
No, the cops are watching it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I don't know why I got raided. Fool, look at your last post, stupid. Anyways, yeah, dog. So, yeah, you basically, you are, busted, bro.
Busted.
Yeah,
and the pill ring from, all that little area, Huntington Beach, done. Overnight done.
Well, they
were pulling people. They were pulling over. I should have known. For the week prior, they were pulling over people leaving the house. And dude, coincidence.
Bro, did people say, "Hey, dog, I just want to give you a heads up. When I left, I got pulled over," because there's been times in the hood, dog, where I tell people when they leave, "Hey, dog, did you see any funny cars out there? Or when you left, dog, did you see what?" I always ask that shit. And real quick, I want to say something. I made a joke about throwing the shit on the lap, but I'll tell you this: back in the day, bro, when people would get in my car, I would tell them all to give me the fucking dope, bro. Yeah. I said, give me the dope, dog. Because if we get pulled over, homie, you're not going to stuff that in the fucking crack of my fucking seat, dog. Just give it to me, bro, and I'll hold it, dog.
Let me get rid of it.
Yeah. I already know what I'm going to do with it, dog. You feel what I'm saying, dog?
Yep.
But
it's getting out of this car somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. Or it's going in something. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's getting out of this car somehow.
Yeah. It's magically gonna disappear.
Yeah. You don't know where it's going, but it's getting out of here.
And if you don't have an X-ray machine, you're not gonna find it, officer.
And I'll still lie.
Officer Hargrove.
That don't sound right.
Hey, bro. It's not you, dog.
No.
It's past, baby. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'll pass, baby.
I mean, you know what, check it out, dog. We cannot hear, I'm not going to sit here and judge you as an individual of what your father decided to do as a profession, and you stopped doing it when you were 5 years old, bro. So you know what, dog? And check it out, bro. Hey, homie. It is what it is. Some people end up on this side of the fence. Some people end up on that side of the fence. Just stay true to whatever side of the fence you're on. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it is what it is. But go ahead, brother. Finish your story, dog.
Yeah. So they had taken her brother and I to Huntington Beach jail, and she bailed her brother out. you know, and I don't think there was enough money to bail both of us out, but I ended up getting transferred to, I think it was Westminster Court, to go to court, you know, after being in HB jail for 3 days. And so we're sitting in court, you know, waiting, you know, I'm sick as fuck by then. Like, yeah, I ain't sleeping. Like, that kick, ugh. You know, I mean, and I've had worse kicks since then, but that kick at that time, like, it was hell because I was getting transferred. I went from Huntington Beach jail for 3 days to Westminster Court. In Westminster Court all day, you know, and you know how it is in court. That shitter is fucking right in front of everybody, you know, and like you'd be lucky if there's toilet paper left or somebody's sleeping on it, and you gotta go over, hey, homie, like, let me get that toilet paper. And so I remember like they never called my name, and then the little public defender came in and he was like, hey, they didn't they're not filing charges yet, you know. But if they don't file charges, they're going to kick you loose. So I'm
DA
thinking,
reject type of thing?
Oh, yeah.
But,
So
but real quick, though, bro. So, obviously, when they kicked your door in, bro, they already had been doing an investigation on you, bro.
They already knew.
Yeah. So, and then when they went into your fucking, your apartment, bro, after knocking your, did she knock out from that? Or did she just like, oh.
I think it knocked her on the ground. I don't think it knocked her out.
Okay. Well, and then they find your ledger, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a slam dunk, bro. You know what I mean? So now you're in court and they're potentially, I mean, is it because of your family history that you can potentially be sliding through the cracks?
I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it was just so many that they had to go through to see like how they were going to approach it. Because, I mean, it was only 3 days later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, they knew, so I had a no bail hold because the public defender came back and he was like, hey, I got some good news and some bad news. Good news is they haven't filed charges. Bad news is you got a no bail hold out of Fresno County for the first one that I bounced on.
So you were on the run then?
I was already on the run.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I never went to probation.
Yeah.
Like, you let me out of that jail, I'm running, you know, well, catch me.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what happened. So they transferred me to Orange County, Maine. I was in Orange County, Maine. I remember it was in 2002. When would the Raiders play Tampa Bay in that Super Bowl? 2002, I think. Right around there. Who knows? But
you could say 2005 and fucking K9's gonna agree with you like, oh yeah, that's when it was. Right. K9 said, oh, and he's like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So I just remember that vividly.
Surrey?
Yeah, Google.
Surrey? Can you hear me?
Right.
I mean, you can, I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but it's kind of a funny thing, bro, that you can call out. There's like an activation thing that you can call Siri and wake your phone up and she'll be like, hey, Lucky, what do you need?
Throw her hair over her shoulder.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, I was just resting.
If I ever have another kid, another daughter, I'm going to name her Siri, dog.
Don't.
2003?
Was
2003.
That was close.
Shout out to fucking Preston. That's his fucking Mexican name. Preston.
Get it.
Preston. Preston, garron. Get over here. Apúrate, way. Anyways, sorry about that. So you got the good news, the bad news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so did they file the charges on you?
So I ended up going to Orange County, Maine, and then you know how it is, like when somebody else is picking you up, it's not like they just send a special bus down to pick you up. Like they picked me up from Orange County, I think it was 2 weeks later, took me to LA County, and then that was my first introduction into LA County.
Let's go, baby. Everybody needs that experience in their life. Go to LA County just for the processing, dog. Just for the processing, dog. Get processed into LA County, but it takes about 48 hours or so. You know what I mean?
And it tripped me out too because everybody's like sitting on those benches, like sliding down the bench. You know, like
nuts to butts, sir.
Getting called up. What size shoes you wear? You know, like it was the.
Well, fools used to get mad at me, dog, because when the officer said nuts to butts, I really put my nuts to the butt, and fools be like, "Hey, homie, what the fuck, dog?" And he said, "Hey, dog, I'm just following instructions, homie." He told me to put my nuts on your butt, dog. You know what I mean?
Legs wrapped around them.
No, sir, that's gay, dog. That's gay.
Right.
What I'm saying isn't. No, it's like that's a joke, dog. That's a stupid joke. And there's no way in hell. They're like nuts and butts. You're just like, homie, if I put my nuts on this black man's butt, homie, you know what I mean? We're gonna have babies.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
So yeah, that was my first introduction into LA County. So I remember going through processing all that. You know, like you said, felt like a week, but it was probably 48 hours.
Something like that, yeah.
They call you up, you know, ask you all the affiliations, this and that. So I remember the first time they called me up, and they put I forget what band it was. I think it was a white, whatever. But they called me up and they, process me, and then I go back and sit down. Well, then like an hour goes by and they call me again. And so they call me up and I go up there, and I remember the sergeant had walked over at that point, and he goes, hey, because I'm a junior, remind you. And
he's
goes,
like, I know your dad.
He goes, hey, is your dad Dean Hargrove? And I was like, nah. Learn my lesson. Like, nope, don't know him. Yep.
It's a good place to stay quiet about that.
Or the second or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So I was like, nope. He's like, all right. Yeah, like he didn't believe me, but then so they sent me down, call me back up again. He's like, let me see your right hand. Put my hand over, he cuts the band, slaps a blue band on me.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Like a keep away, right?
Yeah.
What is that? The K something?
Yeah.
K2 or keep away?
It was me and another cat that I remember to this day, his uncle was like the Sheriff Baca at the time, I just remember him like yelling at all the homies like, hey, it's run and make, because my uncle's a kind of
because my third uncle, second cousin used to be a janitor in the police station, dog. I don't know why they're tripping, fool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, they take you up, they put me in my own cell, like, dude, and that's even more fucked up than.
Was it a cell? Be honest. Was it a cell or was it the control booth of the cells?
Right up there.
Put me in my own cell, like homie. Like you had all them buttons. No, it's like
so before all that, like when they put that band, so they had us kept away over in a different area, and we're getting ready to go to medical. You know how you're getting taken. Well, this Asian cat was sitting across from me, and he kept staring at me, and he kept like saying shit to me.
Was his name Shorty? So we just had an Asian dude named Shorty on here. I heard he was a problem back in the day.
Yeah, it wasn't any of the homies.
Okay, go ahead.
But I remember he kept looking at me, and then he was saying, oh, you're going to be my bunkie when we get upstairs. And mind you, I'm 24 years old, like little skinny white boy, shot out white boy, strung the fuck out, kicking. Like, you just got to blow on me and I'll fall over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, I got to act tough. Like, I got this. Like I'm sitting there on the bench, and he's across the room, and he's like, "You're gonna be my cellie. You're gonna be my cellie." And so the dude next to me is like, "Do you know that guy?" And I'm like, I don't know." And so now I'm starting to my stomach. I'm like, man, dude, he says one more thing to me, I'm just gonna take off on him.
I mean, you're gonna be my cellie. Hey, not you.
Yeah.
You are gonna be my cellie. So you're not sure what, like, bro.
Like what do you mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I was taking it like, dude, you wanted to be on some funny shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Go
That's
ahead,
that's how I took it.
Yeah.
And so it was like, if it's gonna come down to that, I'd rather everybody beat the fuck out of me now, because I ain't going out like that.
And this is LA County.
LA County.
So you got when you're in LA Counny, I mean the sensors, the alerts, the radar gun, everything is at high capacity
the whole time, because it's right. Like down there in process, and those cops are fucking big old fresh out of the Marines, like waiting for somebody to get in a fight so they could just run in and slam a motherfucker and put the fucking spit net over him and do the whole nine. So
I mean, yeah, you're paranoid. Like a dude can queef, and then you're like, bless you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I mean, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm sitting there, and he said he started to get up, come towards me, and like I put my hands on the bench, and I went to kick him right in his chest. And right when I kicked him, he swung at the same time and cracked me in the eye. And so then the cops came over, they busted it up. They took us both and put us in this little holding cell, like little, whatever kind of holding cell it was, had the little sliding door, where they come by and do suicide watch every 30 minutes, make sure you didn't hang yourself, take all your clothes and shit,
Okay.
So I'm sitting in there, and it felt like hours. But I remember the cop coming by, and he was a young cat. And he came by, and he opened it, and he looked in. And this is the first time. Then he opened it again, and he was like, what are you doing in here? Like I didn't know who he was, but he just saw probably like a 23-year-old little white kid didn't belong. Like 100%. I stuck the fuck out. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's happened to me, bro.
Yeah.
But go ahead,
really?
brother. Yeah. No, it has, bro. Like what the baby? What the fuck?
Yeah.
18 years old. Anyways, go ahead, bro.
And so I'm in there. He's like, I'm gonna try to get you out of here, And so hours go by. So he comes back. I remember the door unlocking, and now there's two of them. And he's like, is this him? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, all right, come on, let's get you out of here. So they start walking me, and right when they walk past the cell, they stop. And they open up the one next to me, and the the cat that had punched me was in there and he was passed out and he was like handcuffed to the bench or whatever. Excuse me.
Was he was an older dude?
I think he was, I mean, probably in his 30s, 40s at this time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so he's passed out and he's like, hey, is that the guy that hit you? You know, and I didn't know any better at the time. I was like, yeah. And so he pulled out his keys, unlocked the door, opened the door up, and he's like, get down. And I was like, froze up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 24 years old. Like, I think they're going to just boot me in there, lock me in. Like, I don't know what's going on, you know? And I kind of felt like it was kind of a bitch move to, you know, dude's handcuffed, passed out to the bench. Like, you're gonna...
But you did say that it was him.
I
two
did.
cops.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so and at that time, like, I didn't know like that. You know, that's dry snitching. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that wouldn't be dry snitching. That would just be flat out snitching, homie. That would be flat out snitching, sir. Yeah, I mean, I can't cheer you that, dog, but I'm just going to say that would be flat out snitching, dog. You know what I mean? And, you know, but this is, check it out, you guys, right now. Before you guys shit on this dude, this is just a regular kid, not no gang member, knows no street fucking rules. Let's be easy right here, because I can see the Goonies fucking. I can see you bubbling. I can see you bubbling right now. You know what I mean? I can see you bubbling. You know what I mean? But this is just a regular white kid that got addicted to pills. He wasn't like. These dudes, I mean, you weren't around no professionals, bro. You just found out the blue collar way of fucking to get over on the system, you know what I mean? And you did it, dog, you know what I mean? And so now you're in, they pull you out, they ask you, hey, is that the dude? They said, and you're like, yeah, that dude fucked me up, you know? And so they throw you in there, and what happens?
Well, I didn't go in there. Like, they didn't throw, they just asked if they wanted me to go in there and whoop on him while he was handcuffed to the bench. And, you know, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie, like, I bitched up, you know, like, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know if I was gonna get another charge. I didn't know if they were just gonna lock me in there. And they basically were like, you're not gonna do nothing? I was like, nah. And they're like,
you're like, I already snitched on him. You know what I mean? Shit, that's your guys' job. I told you guys, so you guys go in there and fuck him up, but you want me to do the dirty work?
Come on.
Like, homie, I ain't the one, dog. You see?
To be big brother.
Oh, so you were looking for big brothers in jail now, huh?
So they take me back out. They put me back out in processing, send me back upstairs, like, and then Fresno County comes down and picks me up. And it's crazy because, like, you know, you got a blue band in LA County, and right when you get in, you know, going up to Fresno County, they cut that off and they put you right back in general population. And so I learned my lesson, you know, like, keep your fucking mouth shut. Like, you ain't telling nobody your backstory, you know, like, these ain't, you know, like, you're coming out here, like, now you got to start seasoning yourself, you know, and it was like, I had to learn the hard way, but I learned it, you know what I mean?
Well, when did you, so now this is kind of like, this is an interesting scenario for this podcast right here, bro. You know what I mean? So you keep on saying you learned the hard way, bro. But when did you learn the most valuable is rule in the game, in the criminal underworld of not telling or snitching on people, bro? You know what I mean? Did you get put up on game, said, hey, bro, right here, we shut the fuck up. We don't say nothing, blah, blah, blah. Did you have older white dudes that put you under the armpit and hollered at you like, bro, check it out. I can't avoid the elephant in the room, bro. This is hood stocks, baby. You know what I mean? And I got to put you on the motherfucking spotlight. You know what I mean?
And that's why I'm keeping it real with you. You know what I mean?
And 100%. Shout out to you on that, bro.
And I'm not trying to paint, like, I want to paint the picture so it's real, so you know, like, my whole story, how I came up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because you could have easily left that out the fucking story, bro.
Yeah. Like,
and you didn't, bro.
Nah.
And you
didn't. But I ain't got nothing to hide, though, either. You know, like, I'm not an active gang member. I'm not, like, trying, you know, like, I ain't running around snitching on nobody. Like, fucking, I stay in my lane. I go to work, handle my biz, and do what I got to do to protect.
As of now. But now you're getting into this world where you didn't realize how deep and exactly what it was, and it doesn't really get real until now. You're kicking pills. You're fucking in LA County jail, bro. You already had one dude that tried to fucking holler at you, dog. You know what I mean? And so now they pulled you out of that cell. First of all, why did they pull you out the cell? Was it your time up in the hole, the single man status? What was it, bro?
Yeah, I think my time was up in the hole, and they were just getting me back out into processing.
Because they realized you were the victim.
Well, yeah, and then they woke homeboy up too, and they brought him out, and they put us back out. Like, they kept us
separate.
Yeah,
keep away from each other. Yeah.
And so,
and they do that in another county jail, bro. If you have like an altercation with somebody or something like that, sometimes they can make sure that you guys don't end up in the same pod, the same cell, so on and so forth.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So then, you know, they send me up, and Fresno County comes down and picks me up. That's when they take me to Fresno County. So now I'm in Fresno County, you know, trying to program, and this is when I start learning the ways of, you know, running with my race, you know.
And what is your race?
The white boys, you know, the Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not a skinhead. I'm not affiliated with any gang or anything. I'm just a regular Wood.
Okay.
You know, for a white boy that goes to prison, you know, that isn't a gang member, obviously, you know, and so they're just regular Woods, you know. I mean, I know people that haven't been a part of that world don't understand, you know. Sometimes they think, oh, calling you a Peckerwood, you're racist, you know what I mean? But you just you went and did time, and you're not a gang member. You're an active Wood.
So you get transferred to Fresno.
Yep.
And now you got to fight that case. Why? Because the case in LA got kicked out.
Well, they hadn't pressed charges yet.
Okay.
You know, so they haven't built a case yet. So I go to Fresno, and I'm in there for a couple months, and they start, you know, taking me out to court to deal with that commercial burglary crime of pills. So, you know, that since it was a drug addiction and drug related, I was able to get rehab. So that's when I went to the 11th hour up there in Fresno. Took me straight from jail to the rehab and did 30 days in rehab and stayed clean the whole time in there. And then,
I mean, that's only 30 days, old dog.
yeah, it's a spin cycle, they call it. You know,
He said I stayed clean the whole time, all 30 days.
Right?
You had no choice to. You were in lockdown. You didn't have no connects right there. Even though there's a lot of rehabs, bro, where motherfuckers are just like, the dude running the house.
Yeah.
Got you, dog. What do you need?
Mills.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? When's the EBT come in, dog? You know what I mean? Give me that whole EBT card. Hey, go ahead, dog.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother.
So we did the 30 days in rehab. My first night out of rehab, my homeboy comes and picks me up. He's like, hey, we're going out. We're going to go to the bar. We ended up going to the bar. We meet a couple girls. We get into it with I guess they were dating some dudes at the time. We get into it with these guys, and we're out in the parking lot, you know, and now, like, I had a little size to me because I wasn't a couple months, and I wasn't doing drugs in there, and I was, you know, doing pull-ups, push-ups, trying to get my
your weight up.
Yeah, like trying not to, you know, be a punk in there. Like, I ain't trying to get pushed around, you know what I mean? I'm going to stand up for what I believe in, and, you know, ain't nobody going to take advantage of me. And so when I got out, I, you know, had a little size, was feeling froggy, and, you know, went out to the bar, last place I'm supposed to be after first night out of rehab. And
so it's safe to say that you weren't rehabilitated.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Not at all. You know, the mindset wasn't.
Well, in the gang world, in the gang culture, when you get out, it's just like, it's exhilarating. It's just like everybody's happy. Like fucking K9 is out, Preston is out. You know what I mean? Dean is out. You know what I mean? Like, Dino's out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like an amazing feeling when you get out, because everyone's just like, oh, what up, dog? Miss you, ba ba ba, woo woo woo, and you know, so you felt that exhilaration, that energy, that fucking just like, fuck yeah, I'm out, I'm free, the chains are off, it's time to fucking get this shit cracking. You're at a bar, and what happens? You feeling froggy?
Yep.
You know what I mean? What's happening?
Go out in the parking lot with these dudes that are talking shit, and dude, right away we get in a fight. You know, we're squabbling with them, and I pick this dude up, or my homeboy picks this dude up and slams him on his head, puts him out cold. You know, like girls screaming, like it was on the concrete, like, you know.
Ouch, that hurts.
Yeah. And we took off running, and they had helicopter, everything looking for us. And I've been out of rehab less than 24 hours, you know what I mean? And so now the detectives are looking for us because it's a small town, everybody's saying names, you know, I'm getting a little medicine back of people telling, and you know what I mean? And so I take off again. I'm back on the run.
You're getting a little medicine back.
Yeah, a little karma, a little bad karma, you know.
I see it. Okay,
and
okay.
So, yeah, it's coming back. Like, you know, I'm trying to be mad, like, oh, open their mouth, you know. And, like, I had to learn the hard way, you know. And so I moved back down to Southern California, you know. So now I'm back on the run, you know. And at this point is when Oxycontin started coming into the game, you know, changed the whole game. As soon as OxyContin was in the mix, it was over. Like, that's when I really fell in love. I thought pills was going to be my number one lover. OxyContin changed the game. And the prices at that time were crazy. You know, they were $20 a pill, $40 a pill. And so,
I mean, when you go to from Norcos to OxyContin, what is the difference?
Well, so OxyContin, they call it the hillbilly heroin.
Yeah.
And so it's more, you know, with heroin, like, you don't really know the strength that you're getting all the time. With OxyContin, you can judge it because it comes in pill form. So you know exactly what you're banging, you know what you're doing. And that's around the same time I got introduced to needles. You know what I mean? And that's when the devil shot up in my veins. And
so you were shooting OxyContin in your veins?
OxyContin and cocaine.
And cocaine.
Yeah. So
and so why do people, for the people that don't know, and I've heard plenty of stories about this, but why do people mix like a heroin or an OxyContin with a cocaine and shoot up? What kind of high is that?
So the best way to describe it is you're blasting off to the moon and parachuting back down. You know, like you getting that freaking rush of, you know, whoop, 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 whoop from the cocaine. And then as soon as that rush wears off, that heroin's right there to ease that come down. You know what I mean? And so I fell in love, you know, like that was it for me. Like I fell in love with the drug, and it was whatever I could do to get that drug at that time. And this was when they had 160 milligram OxyContins back then.
Yeah.
They were little blue pills. They don't even make them anymore because they were killing people. And so, I mean, OxyContin killed, you know, a shitload of people, probably not as much as fentanyl, but OxyContin is...
Did you ever get into fentanyl, or was that just something that's new right now?
Yeah, it's new. It's new, but it is touching my life because, you know, I got a brother that's struggling with it.
With fentanyl right now.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, we'll get to that later in the story, but let's go ahead and keep moving, baby. Yeah,
so I got introduced to OxyContin, and by then I'm back down in Southern California. My family is done talking to me, you know, like I burnt every bridge, running amok. I got a new girl, and it always seemed like I had a little sidekick with me, that, you know, a girl that it wasn't like it was love, but it was that drug love, you know what I mean?
I mean, drug love is a good love, bro. You know what I mean? It's very exciting. There's a lot of fucking just hardcore sex.
Yeah.
And as much as you fuck is as much as you fight.
Yeah. Oh,
is that
crazy.
safe to say?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's what comes with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now I'm strung out on OxyContin and cocaine, and I moved down to Southern California. My family's done talking to me, like I said. They had cut me off, and I had nowhere else to turn, so I had to go to another rehab. Excuse me.
Good.
And that's when I went to the Phoenix House in Orange County. So down in Santa Ana, I went into the Phoenix House, and I remember going into intake, and I had a abscess the size of a softball on my arm because I was just shooting up in the same place the whole time. Heroin and coke, or not heroin at this time, it was OxyContin and coke. Just, you know, it was the cocaine that was like I'm missing, you know, and it's just getting abscess. So they wouldn't even take me until I went and got it cut open, got it cleaned out and packed. So I'm in the hospital, you know, watching them do it, and I knew I had a problem when I'm looking at it, and it's like I'm not watching them because I want to see what's going on, watching them because I want to know like how to do this myself, so next time I'm not coming back to the hospital to have this done. I could do it myself.
You got a ledger going.
Yeah. So they take me back to the Phoenix House. I got freaking packing hanging out of my arm, and you know, it's about 2 weeks into the Phoenix House, and when the counselor came back and walked in and called me up to the front room, and I remember, I'll never forget this day, I walked up into the front room, and my whole family was sitting in that front room. All my cousins, my 4 cousins were up there, and they were all crying, and nobody could tell me, like, you know, what they were crying about. and I knew something was wrong. And so when I walked in, you know, I remember my cousin Jill coming up and just putting her arms around me and telling me that my dad had passed away from Oxycontin. So he had overdosed in a hotel room in Utah, and he had picked up a prescription of 120 80 milligram Oxycontin the day before. When they found him, they found there was only 4 left in the bottle. So, and they found little Dixie cups with milk residue and Oxycontin residue. So I don't know if he was trying to drink it or what he was doing, but I don't know if he had just had too much, you know, because he had been battling addiction his whole life, you know, like at this point, you know, the only thing that we had in common was drugs. So that was the only time that we were crossing paths was, you know, when we're supplying each other with drugs at this point, you know, and you got to...
I mean, that is a very interesting point, bro. Like, you have an ex-LA County sheriff now crossing paths with his criminal son, passing drugs now. Like I mean, when you got the drugs from him, would he be like, you know, stay in school, stay in school, Dino.
I love you, son.
I love you, son.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, when you pull out, you know what I mean? Make a fucking complete stop at the stop sign. You know what I mean? I mean, bro, like, was there anything left of him in regards to once upon a time ago being a police officer, bro?
No, at that point, it was just, he was more of a homie. You know what I mean? Like more of a homie hooking me up. And like, you know, maybe a hug when he's leaving, like, I love you, you know? But, you know.
But what was that love at that time? What was that love? Was it genuine love?
I mean, as much as I guess he could at that time, you know what I mean? Because I knew I could only offer so much at that time, you know what I mean? And I thank God every day I didn't put a child through that, you know? And I think he was so wrapped up in the guilt and his pride that, like, I don't think that he could face, like, all the demons of, you know, the apologizing to his family and knowing that, like, we would forgive him. You know what I mean?
And who was in your pops' life at this time? Did he have a lady? There was no more kids.
No, so it was his 5th wife at the time, and you know, they were out in St. George, Utah, I think. And it sucks because I feel like it didn't matter who was in his life at that point. That was just the last house on the block, you know. That was just the time period he was in when he passed. And yeah, I mean, the part that like really breaks my heart is that he passed away by himself in a hotel room, you know, and sometimes it almost feels like he did it on purpose. You know what I mean?
So at this point in life, and this happened years ago, I mean, it still crosses your mind. I mean, was he at the breaking point of his life that he committed suicide, or was he just in a very deep hole that it just happened by accident?
I mean, just from being a drug addict and knowing, like, everything that they said they found in the room, you know what I mean? Like, you're an IV drug user, you're not going to be putting that shit in a liquid to try to drink it, you know what I mean? Like, that ain't going to give you the same rush as banging it, you know? And
he was banging it back then?
He was banging it.
Okay,
you know?
So it could potentially make you think that maybe he didn't have a needle and he was just trying to fucking curve his fucking... his addiction by drinking it. Let me get one more of these, Machi.
Yeah. I mean, in my heart, I don't believe that, but, you know, like, I know, like, a lot of my family members do think that it was accidental. But you think it was intentional? I don't know, you know? I mean, like, I'd like to think it wasn't, but it sucks that if it was, because I just feel sorry for him, like, that you were at that point that you didn't feel like you could come back. Because you had done nothing to not be able to come back from it. You know what I mean? I mean,
like, but at this point, this is many years of his addiction.
Many years. Like, rehab, he probably been to 15, 20 rehabs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was comped by the police department probably, huh?
Well, I think he had burned all his pension up with that, and now it was starting to be like out of pocket, like all that stuff, you know. I mean, and it was taken over. Like,
so he was trying to change. He was trying to kick the addiction. If he wasn't catching cases, bro, and he's going into rehabs. You said 15,
but he was catching cases in those time periods. Like he got arrested in Nevada. He got arrested in a couple other places. Like I said, going into the hospitals and doing the. He got hit. We actually turned him on to the fake prescription. You know, teaching
had
pops.
A ledger too.
Yeah, I don't know if he had a ledger, but we were teaching pops. You know, he probably perfected it. But yeah, it just like I said, man, that breaks my heart that he got to that point where he felt like he couldn't come back, if that was the case, you know. And so I'm in rehab at this time, and thank God I'm in rehab, because if I wasn't, like, I was on the streets, I would have just probably said fuck it, you know.
But let's get to the point where you have your family, and you said Jill gave you a hug. Mm-hmm. I mean, where are you at with your family? Is this the rehab?
Yeah, so we're in the front room of the Phoenix house. Like, they have both doors closed, and there's probably 80 people in this house. It's a big ass rehab, co-ed, everything. And so we're in the front room of this rehab, and when I walked in, like I said, I knew something was wrong. And then they told me, and then that's when they told the rehab, like, hey, we're going to pull him out of here. We're going to take him to the funeral, let him be with his family. We'll bring him back once he's done. Even though I wasn't even, well, no, at that point I was court ordered, because I was in this rehab trying to beat, because all those felonies had caught back up to me. You know, Orange County had started, you know, they had a case at that point. So the Phoenix house, what they do is they help you deal with all, like, your outstanding warrants, anything. They want you to clean all that stuff up before you can get started with your life. And so
exactly. So at this point, you got cases pending.
Yeah, I mean, a couple, you know, and multiple felonies. I'm looking at prison time, you know. And so I did, I think 18 months in the Phoenix house. But then that's where I met another girl that, you know, introduced me to heroin. And fucking heroin. Yep.
So now Oxycontin, Norcos is out the picture.
Norcos isn't even, now I'm like you. I'm looking at anybody with Norcos as lames. Like, you know, with Oxycontin, like, oh, maybe it'll get my nose to itch. But now it's on to heroin. Now I got introduced to, like, you know, now that takes you into a different walk of life. You know what I mean?
I don't ever think something is illegal unless it's coming in a powder form or a crystal form. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if it's not coming in a crystal form and it's a powder, you know what I mean? Then, you know, it's not a real drug. It's not legal. You know? Yeah. I mean, it's not illegal. You know what I mean? But anyways, go ahead, brother. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get out of the Phoenix house after I meet a homegirl, and
was she a bad bitch?
She was a bad bitch. I mean, not as far as looks. She was just a bad bitch. Like, she was from the streets. Like,
was she Mexican or white?
She was white, but she ran with the homies.
Oh, she ran with the homies.
Yeah. So we get out of rehab. Her dad's got money, so he automatically gives her an apartment. We go right back into full-blown heroin addiction. Now, like, off in a dark place, and my family's, like, proud. You know, I graduated the Phoenix house, like, you know, thinking I'm clean, and I'm trying to pull the wool over their eyes. Excuse me. And at that point, like, it only lasted for a minute before they knew, like.
How old are you at this time?
At this time, it was 2006. So yeah, I was 28 years old at this time.
28 years old. And when she introduced you to heroin, how, you know, I mean, someone that's, you know, obviously addicted to that, similar drugs that give the similar effect.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, how does one introduce you to heroin?
So it's like, you know, oh, I know you're looking for this, but.
And this will do the same thing.
Yeah, but this is cheaper and it'll last longer, you know.
And so does heroin last longer than slamming fucking Oxycontins?
It depends on how much and how good the heroin is, you know. Like, I felt like heroin, lasted longer. So when I was, and especially the heroin that we were getting, like, it was, you know, you put a little pinch on a spin. I'm talking a match head, you know, like prison style, and, you know, and that's what would get you fucking gouged out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, out.
In the penitentiary, we used to. I never stuck a needle in my arm in my life. I was around it as a younger when I was a kid, just getting into the neighborhood because I had homies that were addicted to heroin and shit, and they would take me to like Boopsy from Hazard. You know what I mean? Boopsy from Hazard is Animal from Hazard's brother. Animal Hazard is a fucking famous heavyweight boxer. But I used to go to Boopsy from Hazard's house, and it was just like, this is the 90s, and when I walked into his house, I felt like it was the 70s, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything was just old school. Hey, homito, hey, carnalito, you know what I mean? Hey, what do you want, dog? You know what I mean? You want crack? These foods, it was a trip, bro. It was a blast in the past every time I go there and shit. But I see my homie, I'm not gonna say his name, but he would always get too fucked up. You know what I mean? And I would have to walk him through the alleys. And at the time, it was the Dogtown alleys and shit. And I'd have a strap in my fucking hand, and I'd be holding this dude up, dog. You know what I mean? And he'd be throwing up every other motherfucking step and shit. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to take care of him, but at the same time, I'm trying to make sure that we ain't gonna get caught slipping because we in the enemy's alleys and shit. You know what I mean? And so just seeing my homie every time we go there, and I hated going there, and seeing him just like, he couldn't even take care of himself, dog. I felt like if I ever stuck a needle in my arm, it would be too much. And the point of me telling that story is saying this. In the penitentiary and on the streets, dog, I have done carga. I've done heroin, bro. Yeah. I mean, and this is coming from a dude that likes to be up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But sometimes you need to come down. You need to come all the way down. You know what I mean? So you do a little heroin. I put it on the spoon, and like you said, it would take like a match head. Even in the penitentiary, bro, like a match head, homie, that's like $100, dog. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? In prison, it's the best drug to be on, even though I've been on methamphetamine too. But in prison, to be on heroin is just like, hell yeah, what's up, my G? Bam, what's popping, dog? Scratching, nodding, feeling like good, dog, feeling like fucking like you in heaven, homie. And even though you're fucking living in hell, right now I'm in heaven. What's up, dog? Smoking a frau, a bugler, homie, or fucking some tea in the county jail with the Bible paper or some stupid shit, dog, you know what I mean? But it's just like, it was an amazing feeling for me to be in a places like that, dog, you know what I mean? But sorry about that, brother.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good,
And sometimes I share these stories, bro, you know what I mean? Because, you know, check it out. This isn't a regular dude interviewing this dude. I'm not fucking, what's a famous fucking interview? This isn't fucking, what's that? The old dude?
Well, Vlad or what?
But anyways, I'm just, what I'm saying is I've been through this shit, dog. And I know what that feels like, dog. You know what I mean? And it feels fucking amazing, bro.
And you've seen that look, like it's automatic, like right as that needle hits that arm and they shoot up, you can just see that look come up, that wave come over the face where the face just like gets droopy. And it's just fucking like the soul leaves you for a minute. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt. Like whenever I was like, everything went away. Everything went away. All your problems, everything. You got that warm feeling. Yeah. And
everything's gone, baby.
Made me forget what I was even talking about.
No, it's all good. And I'm going to get you on track right now, dog. Because sometimes when Lucky gets fucked up, dog, I'm a professional right here, dog. Right? There was a movie, dog. There was a movie with fucking Denzel Washington, and he was in TJ, and he was trying to kill all the people that fucking kidnapped the little white girl and shit. And every single one of them motherfuckers said, Man on fire. Thank you, K9. And every fool said, I'm a professional. And he said, oh, is that right? You know what I mean? Well, right now I'm a professional, dog, and I'm going to bring you back, dog. You know what I mean? I'm going to bring you back. You know what I mean? I asked you about the female that introduced you, what kind of introduction that would be, but let's get back to you now. You know what I mean? You were in a rehab that fucking, your family were there, they broke the news to you, dog, and now you're out, but you're out with this female. They're happy for you because you graduated the fucking program, bro. You know what I mean? But little do they know, you graduated to another program, and that is heroin.
The streets.
Jesus. Heroin in the streets. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to go to Disneyland. You know what I mean? Like, bitch. You know what I mean?
Came on vacation, left on probation.
Yeah, dog. Go ahead, brother. So talk to us, dog.
Yeah, so that was my first introduction to the streets, you know, like of running the streets. She was a gangster, you know, like talking like when we're out of money, like let's go rob somebody, gangster. You know what I mean? And I always felt like like I was trying to prove to her that like, hey, I ain't just this white boy from, you know, like I had been silver spoon fed my whole life, you know, like I'm down, you know, and so I'm trying to one up her, you know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
I mean, you'll do
yeah.
anything for two things at that time: pussy and drugs.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And drugs was the number one, you know, like so.
Pussy's
yeah,
number two. He wasn't that good.
And so, you know, we're doing whatever we got to do to get our fix. You know what I mean? And at this point, like, she's just slamming heroin. I'm looking for cocaine. Like, I'm trying to mix it. And she hated when I, you know, blast off because I'm instantly on the peephole. I'm looking out the blinds. Like, soon as I instantly shoot up, it's that, whoa, whoa, whoa. You automatically think the cops are running up there. It takes you right back there. The cops running up the stairs. Like, I'm going to get busted. And she's like, sit the fuck down. Nobody's coming, you know? Like, she's over there fucking cigarette holes in her pants. And so, like, we started running out of ways to get money. I mean, we had robbed all the connects. Like, we had, you know, pulled the hollies on all, you know. Yeah. And so.
You're like, I'm bilingual.
And so.
We said hollies and he looked at me like.
Being around the homies. And so, yeah, so then I got this bright idea of like, hey, you know, I used to go in and write prescriptions at these pharmacies. Why don't I just go in right when they open with a gun and lay everybody down and rob the pharmacy? So that's what I started doing, you know? And even she was like, yeah, you're stepping into another world, like, you know? And so, but she'd take me, you know, like make sure I got that getaway driver. And so, yeah, she stayed far, let the white boy go do the dirt, you know.
But the pussy was wet.
And so I remember going in and hitting these pharmacies, man, and just going in first thing, you know, just hitting them with surprise, like, everybody get down. And then I'd fill up the backpack with every prescription drug.
Are we going into CVS's? Are we going to mom and pop type of pharmacies?
Mom and pops.
Yeah, little corner pharmacies.
You
fucking
know
RX pharmacy.
You know them all over Westminster, Garden Grove, you know, like all.
Oh, you hit
yeah,
those spots, huh?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
like,
they don't even expect you to come. They're like, oh, he must have sprained an ankle. We got Tylenol for you. And then you're like, freeze, sucker. Yeah,
it wasn't even freeze. It was just grab them, throw them on the ground, and hold it to the back of their head, load up the backpack, you know, and it was, you hit them by surprise.
So you were just mean. You were a mean armed robber.
Well, like, I mean, I'm watching enough movies. I'm thinking, I'm like, you know, like that's how it really goes.
Some motherfuckers pick the game up from movies.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dog, I mean, shit.
And so,
take responsibility, fucking man on fire.
Professional. And so I remember I hit this one pharmacy and I got the guy and his wife on the ground, and there's a door that's locked behind me, and I'm like, I got this weird feeling like, man, something's not right. So like, I tell her to keep loading up the backpack, and I walk over there and I check the door, and the door's locked. And I can like put my ear up, I hear something, so I just booted the door open. Well, the grandpa was behind the door, and he's loading up a 12-gauge shotgun. He's putting shells in. So I latch onto the shotgun. We're fighting. We're rolling around. We fall over the desk. I get the shotgun away from him. I grab the backpack. I'm running down freaking Westminster Boulevard at 9 o'clock in the morning with a shotgun and a bag full of drugs.
Fuck, bro.
And God bless her heart, she comes rolling up like she just got Starbucks and shit. You know, I hop in the motherfucker and we speed away. And so, yeah.
I don't know why I just pressed that applause, but it was just like, we in a movie right now, baby.
It was a win.
It was a win. Okay, go ahead.
So, you know, I got a little nervous. I was like, man, dude, if I didn't check that door, that dude would have shot. Like, I saw it in his eyes. He was going to come out. He was going to kill me. And so I had a buddy that came over to pick up some pills, and he was hooking up with a chick that worked at the bank at the time. And that's when he told me, like, hey, man, these banks, if you go in with a note, they can't physically stop you. It's against their policies or whatever kind of rules or laws they have. Like, it puts everybody in danger if they try to stop you.
And that's kind of like, people hate when I do this. They're like, look, you cut them off. You don't let them fucking speak. Blah, blah, blah. Well, fucking here's a box of tissues, you motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You know, fucking. I seen Preston. Anyways, let me get my fucking brain moving again, dog.
Bring it back.
What's that? Do I want to wait? Go ahead, finish your story, bro. I just fucked you up, and I fucked myself up right now, dog. No, I knew that we were gonna have a good time today, dog. So I'm going a little bit of little on the deep end. Sorry about yourself. I'll pace myself. Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're right where you need to be.
I lost my train of thought, to be honest, dog.
Yeah, that means you're good. You're right where you need to be.
100%.
I'll bring you back.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I had talked to this girl or my homie, and he had said about the banks. So I get the bright idea of like, hey, I'm gonna go start hitting banks. And so
I got one right there.
The girl, like, I would take the girl's car without telling her because I knew she wasn't down, like, you know, with her car being used in a bank robbery, this and that. Well, she found out when I started coming back to the house with a shitload of cash. So
you're hitting these banks already?
Yeah. So I'm like walking in, passing the note, you know, underneath the glass. They're clearing the till. And when I was going in, when I was in the Phoenix house, rewind, I was in there with a cat that just had gotten out of federal prison for robbing like 20 something banks, and he put me up on game. He said that if you're gonna, because I was like fascinated with it, you know, he said if you're gonna rob a bank, you go to the merchant teller. Don't hit any of the regular tellers. They only carry so much money in their till. Go to the merchant teller. That's where all the business is, all the transactions, the big transactions. You'll get a lot of checks. They also carry a lot of cash.
So check it out. Let's really paint the picture right now. And what I forgot that I was saying when I lost my train of thought I was saying in the criminal world, it is known that if you give a note, you know what I mean, then they have to cooperate in a certain way. That's what I lost my train of thought in. But let's paint the picture, bro. You know what I mean? Lucky's getting back on deck right now. Stop playing with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just when you counted me out, I just stepped the fuck up, dog.
Right back.
With a drink of fucking water. Thank you very much. Yeah. But you walk into the bank. You fucking dick. He's laughing at me, dog. But you walk into the bank, bro. Let's paint the picture, bro. Let's paint the picture, dog. Because we see it in the movies, dog. Right, K9?
I'm gonna tell you.
We see it in the movies. Like bro, I was 20 armed robberies on fucking on TV, dog. You know what I mean?
Shootout shit.
Yeah, bro. Bro, I've been there, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't. You know, I don't know why I didn't have the nuts to do a bank, dog. You know what I mean? Because I thought that was just way above what I was supposed to do. I was doing liquor stores, ATMs, and all this other stupid shit, dog. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's paint the picture.
Well,
so you pull up to the bank. What is the plan, bro?
So we'll even go further back. So my mindset is like, okay, if I don't go in with a gun, if I just go in with a note, like, I mean, how serious can it be? You know what I mean? Like, how much time could they really give me? You know, like if I'm going in with a weapon, I know they're gonna break me off right off.
Yeah.
And so the chick won't let me take her car to do this last one. You know, I won't talk about the other ones, but so the one I got busted for.
That's the one you got to talk about.
Yeah. So she won't let me take her car. So we're living in Orange County at the time, right off Tustin and Meats. And my homeboy owned a little jewelry mart up the street. So I was like, fuck you. You ain't going to let me take the car? I'll go get a car. So I walk over to my homeboy's jewelry mart and I say, hey, I need to borrow your car. I'm going to go get something to eat. Fucked up out of my mind. Like, wrote a note, took, 15 Xanny bars. Not that many, but it felt like it. Because my hands are like shaking. Oh yeah, and you get that courage, you know what I mean? You get that courage, and my hands are shaking, like looking back at the note, you could barely even read it because it's like I got that Xanny shake, you know what I mean? And I roll up to the homeboy's jewelry mart and asked to borrow his car because I'm gonna go get something to eat. He sees how fucked up I am, and he's like, nah, you ain't taking my car, I'll take you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. Didn't tell him. And I just, when we're driving over there, I said, hey, stop by Wells Fargo. It's the Wells Fargo right there off of 91 in Tustin, dude. It's still there. I was there today. I went and got some Chick-fil-A over by just to reminisce old times.
I mean, do you bank with him now is the question,
I
sir.
do. When I got out of prison for getting busted for robbing Wells Fargo's, that was the first bank my mom took me to and was like, why are you so nervous? I'm like, Mom, you do realize, like, I just got out of prison for robbing Wells Fargo. She just goes, that's mom for you. Mom's gangster. She just thinks it's funny. So anyway, I asked him, like, hey, take me to get some food at In-N-Out. There's an In-N-Out and a Wells Fargo. People from Orange County know where this is, too. It's right there off of Tustin across from the Orange Mall. And there wasn't a Chick-fil-A there back then. So we pull into the Wells Fargo, and I tell him, hey, I'm going to run in to make a withdrawal. So he, like, parks across the parking lot from the Wells Fargo. Well, I go inside. The line for the merchant teller is like 10 people deep. All the other tellers are open.
So what is the difference between the merchant teller and the regular tellers? Is it for businesses?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the merchant teller is where like businesses do their transactions. They do their deposits. They deposit cash. They do all that stuff.
Yeah.
The regular tills, like it's not even worth it because you're going to get, you know, in between $1,500 and $2,500, you know?
So we got to go where the money's at, baby.
Where the merchant teller is like, you can get out of there with, you know, $25,000, $22,000, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. Nice weekend in Vegas. Yeah.
Plus hookers galore.
And so
male hookers for Preston. Preston.
And so we go, so I walk into the bank and I'm walking around, walk over, get a cup of coffee, and I'm like walking around waiting for the merchant teller line to get down, and I'm like, fuck it, I need money. So I go up to the regular teller and just slide the note under the glass. And mind you, there's bulletproof glass in between us, you know? Like,
yeah,
there ain't nothing I can do to this girl, you know? And it's like,
yeah,
hey, I'm going to blow the place up, or whatever the fucking note said.
What did the note say?
Yeah, I think that's what it said. It said, like, give me all the money in the till. Don't call the cops, or I'll kill you, or something like that. Because that's what got me in trouble, was the note, what it said. And so she reads the note, like eyes get fucking, you know, size of silver dollar pancakes, looks at me, like reaches right under, hits the button, clears the till out, and just hands it to me underneath. So I just grab it and I put it down my pants and I'm walking out the bank. Well, mind you, my homeboy don't know that I'm doing this. And in this time,
you're a horrible friend,
fucking
sir.
dick. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, keep your distance after this.
I will never have you in my car.
Yeah. As long as I hand you all the drugs, we're good. Yeah. So in that meantime, like, he had pulled right in front of a spot opened right in front of the bank. So he's like honking his horn, yelling my name, like
he's like, Dean,
right here, Dino. You know. So I walk over, get in the car, and he's like, fuck, what? How'd you get all that money? I'm like, oh, I made up something. My grandma deposited or whatever, and loan me $100. So I gave him some money, and then he's like, well, we're still going to In-N-Out, right? And I didn't want to tell him. Like, it's crazy in hindsight. Like, I was more worried about him knowing that I just robbed a bank in his car than the cops busting us.
100%. It makes sense.
So I'm like, yeah, we're going to In-N-Out. So we go across the parking lot to In-N-Out, and anyone that knows that In-N-Out, the drive-through like wraps around the backside, and so by the time we're going through, I can hear the sirens, cops flying in the parking lot. We're ordering doubles like across the parking lot. They're thinking like, these motherfuckers can't be that stupid to go across the parking lot to give food. Like, that's the last place they're looking.
Did you order the monster style, the animal style?
Animal style, you know what time it is. So we come pulling out, like, we get our food, we come pulling. By the time we're pulling out of the drive-thru, all the cops are gone. So they had all like are out looking for us now. So now we're driving down.
That is the most funniest thing, bro. It's like, dude, when you were right underneath their fucking nose, dog.
Like, could throw a rock and hit them.
Yeah.
You walk up and tap them on the shoulder, like, hey, you got a cigarette?
I mean, that's a professional criminal. Not saying that you had any idea of that. You kind of just fell into that. But as a professional criminal, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Keep it going. So we pull out. We're driving down Tustin Boulevard, and a motorcycle cop goes flying past us. And I'm like, hey, cut through the parking lot. I know a shortcut. So we go into the Orange Mall, and we're getting ready to pull across Meats right into this apartment complex. And I'm like thinking in my head, as long as he drops me off, I'm good. Like, whatever happens to him, like, that's how fucking crazy my mind was. Like, I didn't even care that whatever happened to my homie, you know what I mean?
Check it out. If you had a theme song, I'm going to cut you off real quick. If you had a theme song for yourself during this time, what's playing in your head?
To be honest, I can't get that cop song out of my fucking head ever since you started saying it. Like, Bad boys, what you gonna, that fucking song, dude.
Because I can probably potentially think of certain songs that were in my head during certain fucking crimes,
Really?
bro.
That take you back there?
If it wasn't playing already, dog,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But that is a silly question, and I hate to break up your story with that, but it could potentially be a little bit of interesting, dog. And who knows? You can say it was Metallica 1, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden,
paints the picture.
Woodstocks makes Metallica 1 blow the fuck up right now.
Right.
Anyways, go ahead, bro. I was just thinking of Stranger Things. Sorry, dog. I'm rambling.
You're good. So we're pulling out of the parking lot of the mall, and we're getting ready to cross, and another cop car comes flying up in front of us and sees us and slams on its brakes.
Because they have a description.
Yeah, they have a description of the car.
Oh, they have the description of the car.
Of the car, and I'm sure me too, because by this time they're, like white male, like I'm sure they already know.
What would be the description that you would like to hear, bro? White male with a tight ass, blue eyes, and puckery lips.
Yeah. Yeah, the sexiest man walked up in this motherfucker.
That's who you guys need to bust.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
It was more like, hey, the homeless dude walking down the street that stinks like shit.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
So they pull up, by gunpoint, like they, driver, with your right hand, reach over. And he looks at me and he's like, you robbed that fucking bank, didn't you?
Damn.
And I was like, yes, I did. And he was like, motherfucker. I was like, just say the truth and you'll be good. You know what I mean? Because I'm not like...
It's on me.
It's on me, as long as you say the truth, like, we're good.
You weren't going back to your evil ways.
No.
I'm just playing. Go ahead, dog.
So we they pull us out. I got all the money stuffed down my pants, like they're not going to find it. It's a windy ass day. They take me behind the trash can. They're pulling down my pants. Money's flying everywhere. Damn. It's funny watching the cops chase it all around the parking lot. But so the detectives take me down to the Orange Police Department. They take him. He has like a panic attack. So they take him to the hospital because he's like an overweight Armenian dude. And he was complaining of chest problems. So they took him to the hospital, and the detectives are interviewing me in the interrogation room. And they're, I'm telling them like, hey, the driver, he had no idea, this and that. And they're not believing me, They're like, there's no way he didn't know that you were robbing that bank. I'm like, no, he had. And they're like, and if he didn't, like, that's fucked up. Even the cops were told. Like,
you did him dirty, dog. You did the Armenian dirty.
Yeah.
The Armenian homie dirty, dog. I mean, why do they all own all the fucking jewelry marks? Go ahead, bro. Anyways.
And so I guess they went to the hospital, interviewed the homie, and he said the same story. And they basically told him he was free to go. And I already just started ripping everything off and was all of a sudden good. And, and that's, where my prison stint started.
Okay.
And that's when I got arrested, went to Orange County Jail, and I knew I was no more county time after that,
Yeah.
And so I remember being in Orange County Jail, and the feds came and saw me while I was in there.
Because it's usually a federal case if you're
yeah,
wrong bank.
Yeah, but I guess they were dealing with so many at that time. They said, hey, since it's only one, like, we ain't fucking with you, but if the state doesn't prosecute you, we'll be outside waiting to pick you up.
100%.
And so that's what, and so I tried to fight the case. Like, I mean, I was guilty, but my family was like trying to get me attorneys, like doing like they always do, coming to my aid. And at that time, like, I knew like I had to go away. Like, I had to go away for a while because that was the only way I was going to stop doing dope.
That's the best rehabilitation sometimes is time, bro. Even though people say like, hey, you're going to go to jail and you're going to pick up new criminal habits and so on and so forth. But sometimes we need a timeout. There's so many times that I needed a timeout to just fucking evaluate the way I was fucking living, dog. You know what I mean? And so now you understand, bro, that you know what? I don't need to be out right now.
No.
We come to terms with that sometimes and say, you know what? I fucked up. I was fucking up. And right now, I need a fucking big time timeout. And hopefully it's not too long, but I need some time right now. So you have the realization that I needed time right now.
Yeah, like I needed a break. I knew like I needed to be locked away for a minute and held against my will. you know? And so that's, at first, off rip, they were trying to give me 2 strikes in 6 years. So, because the note was threatening, like they were considering it a violent crime, even though I didn't hurt anybody. But they were trying to give me 2 strikes in 6 years off rip. So I was like, dude, for a note? Like, hell. So I kept fighting it, you know? But, you know, going to court while you're sitting in county jail, like, that shit sucks, man. Like, they pull you out all early as fuck. You go to court, you're there all day, you know, just to get told, like, oh, judge postponed it or what, you know?
Come back 2 months from now.
Yeah.
Come back a month from now.
And so when it finally got down to 2 years and a strike, I was like, fucking shoot that shit. You know
and
what I
that's
mean?
love, bro.
Yeah.
That's love right there.
Fuck yeah. I mean,
they and some people be like, how did he get that little time for this? But you know what? Let's be honest, dog. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like, people are gonna look, the judge, the DA, if you got a public defender, they're gonna evaluate how much they do for the individual. Now, if you're not a dude that's sitting in front of them with fucking tattoos all over their fucking face and banged the fuck out and been doing this shit since juveniles, then you could potentially get a better deal. And that's just it. Fuck law. Fuck the laws. Like, they're gonna tell you what they can give you by law, but when it comes, and especially in California, and this is one thing that criminals love about California, you know what I mean, is California can be a little bit lenient, you know, in regards to how they deal with certain things, but sometimes they can be harsh on it. You know what I mean? It's the you know, it's the dice game of the fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna shoot? You know what I mean? But anyway, so they see you, and it's to me, dog, it doesn't raise any suspicions of why you got what you got, bro, because they're looking at it like, oh, he's a good kid, you know what I mean? His pops used to be a fucking sheriff, you know what I mean? He broke his fucking back after he killed this black dude and kicked him in the fucking head, and then the fucking other dude came through and fucking shot him, you know what I mean? You know, bop, 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 woo, woo, woo. But, like, I mean, this is all information they have, bro.
Absolutely.
This is information they have, and if they don't have, you'd be a dumb fool in a court of law not to share information like that with them. And let's just be real about this shit, dog. You know what I mean? And life is about leverage, and sometimes people have a leverage to say, hey, well, my pops was a fucking LA County sheriff, you know what I mean? And he whoop, 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 and they're like, well, you know what? We got to be a little lenient on this dude. So you get, how much time do you get?
I got 2 years and a strike. 2
years and a strike, bro. You know what I mean? And what do you do with that 2 years and a strike?
So 2 years and a strike, man, goes, I mean, you know, 2 years on a violent crime, you're doing 85%. Which,
but the first time, but according to LA County Jail, the first time, you know what I mean, I got sentenced to that, but when it's your first time going to prison, it's 50%. Back then it was.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the 90s it was.
Yeah, this was 2009. 2009.
So did you have to do 85% of that 2 years?
Well, I had to do 85%, but then I just maxed it out because it was, 2.5 months, 3 months.
And you were fucking up in there?
Well, I never got loaded in there. Like, I wasn't doing dope in there, but... You know, you go in there and I'm trying not to walk around looking over my shoulder. So I'm raising my hand. I'm doing what I got to do to.
You're raising your hand as a solid white boy. You know what I mean, and saying, hey, you know what? I'm here, and I'm not gonna be a fucking fly on the motherfucking wall. I'm gonna be about this life now. You know what I mean? So you feel committed now to serve the wood pile, the peckerwoods. You know what I mean? And because you are this individual now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because, you know, like, otherwise you're going to be, you know, taken advantage of, or, you know, they're just going to get rid of you. They see you as a weakness. And because of the severity of my crime, I was already going to level 2, but then when we were in reception, we ended up getting a white Crip in there, and that's what jacked my points up to level 3 points. So
what is wrong with white Crips? Explain that to me, sir. You know what I mean? Because we got a white Crip in here right now, and that's Preston. Wait, no. He's a Southside right now. My bad, dog.
Right.
I mean, go ahead, dog.
So what I believe that's wrong is it's nothing wrong with the white Crip. I think the whites, like, just look at it as they lost a soldier. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because we're already minorities and outnumbered in there as it is, so we need every solid white boy when we're locked up, anyways.
So let me say this, and I know I'm interjecting a lot of shit, dog, but I'm feeling myself right now. I'm feeling good. It's Thursday night, dog. Yeah. We are living our best life together right now. Thursday night, like, subscribe, all that good shit. So I've been on yards, dog, where there have been white Crips, dog. And when there's a white Crip on the yard amongst the wood pile, which the homies are very good with, you know what I mean? When there's a white Crip, that dude has a target on his back, dog. I'm sorry, Milk 47 or whatever your name is, dog. You know what I mean? You know, you go to the system, dog. You want to have a big target on your back, dog. You know what I mean? Like white Crips, bro. Like a white dude running with the black dudes, and you got the wood pile fucking talking about motherfucking, like, they got boats on their back, dog. They're fucking peckerwood. What's the boat thing for again? You know what I mean?
Lightning bolts?
Nah, I was thinking of boats because of the fucking, the dudes with the thing, with the long...
The Vikings?
The Vikings. They got Viking boats on them and all that shit. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be too animated, and I know I am right now, dog. You know what I mean? But dog, they don't like that shit. Yeah. A man of their complexion is running with the blacks, bro. That dude got a big target on his back. So here you are on a yard with a white Crip.
Yeah, it was Wasco reception, 2009, and a white Crip comes onto the yard. And I remember my cellie was like, it was on a yard. So when they took me into the building, when they were first walking me in, my cellie was sitting there. He was leaning up against the door, and he's this big ass blasted down skinhead from Orange County. And he's, you know, as white power as it comes. Like, hey,
this is your cellie.
My cellie. You know, like, all right, we're doing a routine, you know, like we're doing 500 burpees in the morning, you know, like we're busting down every day. And I'm like still trying to get acclimated, because like that last kick, when I got busted robbing the bank, I was on heroin, I was on Xanax, cocaine, methadone. I was on like 120 milligrams of methadone. Like I was strung the fuck out. It took me a good 6 to 7 months before I was even like starting to feel somewhat normal. So by the time I got to reception, like I'm starting to work out and starting to feel good again. And the white Crip came in, and I remember my cellie, like we went out to the yard, you know, and in Wasco, like you hardly ever get yard, but we had yard, and we're all meeting out in the middle of the field. And I remember my cellie was asking all the white boys, like all the other skinheads, like, hey, this dude's the enemy, like we got to get rid of him, this and that, you know. And it's my first term, you know, like, and I know, like, if I'm gonna be active, like I'm gonna have to put in work. So,
well, it's your cellie, bro.
Yeah,
it's your cellie. So you gotta follow suit. Yeah. You're just a regular wood, and you got a fucking hardcore skinhead and as a cellie, bro. Like if you don't follow suit, bro, you probably gonna get fucked up, dog.
And that's what. So my cellie was asking all his comrades, you know, all the other skinheads.
Why do they call them comrades?
Comrades.
Comrades.
With an M, comrades.
Why did I think it's Conrads? Maybe it's the rap song. Why comrades, dog?
I think a comrade is like a brother in arms. You know, I feel like that's from what I know, that's what it is.
Okay.
So yeah, he's talking to all his other skinhead buddies, and he's saying, "Hey, we got to get rid of." And they're like, "Well, you know, I went on the last one, and you know, I'm paroling in 2 weeks," and like all the excuses are kind of coming out, and I just raised my hand, and I was like, I'll go with you, cellie. And he was like, fuck yeah, look at this first termer, this wood, you know, he's got more heart than you, motherfucker, you know. And then they started like coming out like, oh no, I'll go, you know, like all of a sudden.
And let's take a quick break right now, and we're gonna be back with Dino going on a mission, raising his fucking hand. I gotta take a leak. Let's take a quick break. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we'll be back with Dino going on a fucking mission. Turn that light off, doggy. Thank you, dog. Sorry about that. I gotta
bring that light up in there.
I gotta pee real quick. Overlay. Let's go. We'll be right back, guys.
Praying to me, and I help him go and get his way. You kept your word, boy, yeah, the devil said to me, and I can't meet you one day. Yeah, I can't wait to meet you one day.
Hey, 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 hey. Emotions out of focus, I'm crawling at my lowest. Feet hit the streets like a high-speed pursuit. I'm wild when I move, burn it to your head, about to tighten up the noose. Bunch of clown faces blowing clouds of the booth. Woof, woof, hooters at the door, now they trying to run up in. I am not a guppy shark, stash everything. Dope in the pussy like a B of A deposit. Baby girl robotic, she gang bang robotics. Hang with the wolves or you gotta pull your weight. Throw the biggest tool, keep one in the chain. This is not a date, dance with the Mex, get your face in the cake.
Yeah, the devil's praying to me, and I help him go and get his way. You kept your word, boy, yeah, the devil said to me, and I can't wait to meet you one day. Yeah, I can't wait to meet you one day.
Hey, 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 hey. Pennies for my thoughts, I still can't make a dollar. Anybody home, Mr. 38 revolver. Holla, Lord, I need change. Heard you heal the hurt, I heard you kill the pain. Homie down the street, you left them dead in the dirt. Now his mama growing grays. Clouds in the skies leave tears on the grave. No smile on the face, just another t-shirt. Small funeral, see his girl when they flirt. Shit still fresh, still smell death. Bunch of drug addicts, can't wait to fuck next. Let the pussy rest, waiting on the prey like a goon in your home. It's 2 in the morning.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe, baby. Let's go.
And I help him go and get his way. You kept your word, boy, yeah, the devil said to me, and I can't wait to meet you one day.
Let's go. Like, subscribe.
Can't wait to meet you one day.
Hey, 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 hey. Kodak pictures catch the redness in my eyes. The pookie virtualized got the devil in my mind. The highs, the lows, a suicide note. The drip of the nasal, feel the tip of the razor. I'm tired of the living, I'm tired of the sinning. I wanna be dead dog better than these meds. Got my girl gagged, keep back this super gonna throw you through the glass. Broken windows, limo tinted nipple. She crazy, we crazy, another meth baby. I need to sober up, I'm tripping, she waking. I think I need some sleep, I'm losing my mind. Catch me while I leap.
I've been a bad man, yeah, the devil's praying
got my
to me, and I help him go and get his way. You kept your word, boy, yeah,
that
the
to me,
devil
dog.
said to me, and I can't wait to meet you one day.
Hood stocks, baby.
Yeah, I can't
Like,
wait
subscribe,
to meet
join
you
the channel,
one
baby.
day.
$3 a month, dog. Don't break the motherfucking bank, dog. Don't piss your baby mama off, because you're spending $3 a month to support the baddest motherfucking podcast in the motherfucking world, dog. Let's go.
I've been a bad
Yeah.
man, yeah, the devil's
Make no
praying to
face.
me, and I help him go and get his way. You kept your
Yeah,
word,
we the realest.
boy, yeah, the devil
We the
said to
illest.
me, and I can't
Podcast.
wait to meet you one day.
In the motherfucking Southland, dog.
Can't wait to meet you one day.
Yeah, that's motherfucking Nate No Face. That's Lucky Sun Tzu. That song is called Devil's Game. You can purchase that shit on any digital platform. Type in Lucky Sun Tzu on motherfucking Apple, Google, your baby mama's butt cheeks, dog. You know what I mean? Like whatever, wherever there's a keypad, dog. If there's a keypad on the pussy, dog, you know what I mean? Hit delete, delete, delete. I don't know what the fuck, dog. Stupid as fuck. I'm sorry about that. Hey, so are you having a good time, brother?
I'm having a good time, man.
Bro, check
Hell
it out, dog.
yeah.
I agreed to have this podcast under one condition. We have a good time.
That's all it's about, baby.
Under one condition, we have a good time. Because it's Thursday, it's Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday, dog. It's not Taco Tuesday. It's not Hump Wednesday. It's not Fuck You Monday, dog. This is Thirsty Thursday where we get fucked up and we regret it tomorrow.
Friday.
When we wake up to go to work, dog. We regret it tomorrow, dog.
Hey, all you cats I work with, all the Weasel gang, you know you better be at work tomorrow. It's Friday. I know you guys like to go out and party on Thursday night, and then there's always got to be one that shows up late, and I gotta feel like a dick trying to reprimand them.
Yeah, just you know what, bro? The true testament of one's character, bro, is when you put them in a position of power, dog. Yeah. And when you put the individual in power, dog, you see what the dude does with the fucking power. Now, he's usually sometimes he can be a dick, dog, or he can be an understanding motherfucker that knows that, you know, at one time I was you, dog. You know what I mean? But what I'm gonna do is I ain't gonna fuck you, dog, but I'm gonna tell you, my boy, like, be easy, dog. You know what I mean? Like, shit, dog, it's okay, but damn, don't make it a habit. You know what I mean?
All the boys that work for me, they know it ain't going past me. Like, I won't call, you know, like, ain't trying to get them in trouble, but it's like, hey, man, you want to be a big boy and you want to go out and party? Like, you better be at work on time, and don't let me find you sleeping in the porta potty.
I mean, if you can sleep in a porta potty, you are full of shit.
And you come out smelling like shit too.
You know, bro, I love porta potties. Why do I love porta potties? Because I fucking talk shit on the porta potty with markers, Sharpies, about how I feel about you motherfuckers, dog. I'll be like, this motherfucker will suck a dick for a motherfucking extra 2 hours. Fuck you, bitch. You know what I mean? It's funny, dog, because the different trades, dog, they write shit in the porta potties, dog. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, who's Andy? Yeah. Okay, and then you find out who's Andy. It's like, oh, okay, dog. You're a foreman and you're a fucking dick. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to find out if you're a foreman or if you're running work, go into a porta potty and the porta potty will tell you how you're doing in your position. Real shit, dog. Yeah, 100%, dog. So we're on the yard. Yeah. Fucking on the yard. Dino.
Wasco State Prison.
Dino has a cellie that's a skinhead. You know what I mean? He's just a pill popping fucking fool that
white boy that got strung out on drugs and
gets caught up. Yeah. And bro, you're not in with the regular wood. You know what I mean? You're in a fucking cell with a skinhead. And any yard
active as fuck too. Like
any yard that I've been on with skinheads, and I've been in rides with skinheads, bro. You know what I mean? Like let's be real, bro. They're about that life, bro.
Yeah, they program a different way.
Yeah, they program a different way, and they're about that life, and they're gonna hold you accountable. So here you are, potentially knowing, hey, I'm not a skinhead, but in dude's mind, he could potentially think that one day I might make him a part of what I'm a part of. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of white dudes, I believe, in prison that end up on the skinhead side, or back in the day they had the Nazi lowriders, dog. You know what I mean? But anyways, so you raise your hand, bro. All these other dudes raise their hand. They didn't want to raise their hand because they said, "Oh, you know what? Nah, I got next tomorrow's motherfucking
Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day.
I gotta call moms.
Today's Mother's Day. I can't commit that motherfucking crime in here.
It's the day of the Lord.
Yeah, and so, bro, you raise your hand.
Yeah, so I raised my hand. My cellie goes through that whole spiel where he's, you know, basically talking shit to his homies, like they ain't about that life, you know, this first termer, he's got more heart than you, and that pissed him off. So, you know, now you got like 9 dudes raising their hand. So it ended up just going to be 3 of us. And in Wasco State Prison on A yard at that time in 2009, A1, A2, and A3 were all mainline. No, we're all reception. A4 and A5 were mainline. So they had the yard split. So it was kind of weird because we're in reception, but the 4 and 5 building are like working in the like running the yard, you know, going out to work, programming. Like basically it was cool for them because there's only 2 buildings and they got a big ass yard, you know, so there's less people and it's a 3 yard. And so going across to Chow, you got to walk across that football. Well, I don't know. I say a football field, but the field in the middle, you know how 3 yards set up. Yeah. You know, it's got the 5 buildings, and then you go eat in the.
It's a full yard. It's not a 270. It's not a 180. It's a complete fucking yard where you can fucking run marathons in that bitch.
The Pisces are on the middle playing soccer. You know?
You can play soccer. You can play softball. We got 10 handball courts over here. Welcome to motherfucking Fantasy Island. Over here, you can play horseshoes. You can do volleyball. Dips. You can do pull-ups. Oh, you want to play volleyball with the Paisas? The Paisas are amazing at volleyball in the penitentiary. You know what I mean? You know, but I'm just saying.
Chonga 9.
Yeah. And then you got all the tables. Oh, you want to gamble? Okay, well, go lose your money and your ass over here and stress your family out with fucking bills you got to pay now, motherfucker.
It's crazy to see like the dynamics of a prison yard too, because you see how everything moves. You know, this is the whites area. This is the homies. You know, like homies and whites will be close to each other because you know, like we got each other's backs.
Yeah,
but,
and then
like,
you got then this is the light skinned brothers, and then this is the black homies over here. You know what I mean?
The Crips. These are the Bloods.
Yeah.
You know?
No, go ahead, brother.
And so, so we came up with the plan of, all right, since we're outnumbered, we need to try to catch homie with the least amount of blacks around. So our bright idea was we didn't want to do it in the chow hall because that's way too dangerous and there's way too many, you know, recipes for disaster in there. You know, the wrong race or somebody gets hit or, you know, and so we were going to do it coming back across the yard from the chow hall in the morning after breakfast.
So your mission is you're going to hit somebody.
Yeah. I mean, we're just going to do 3-on-1. It ain't like we ain't going to stab them. Like they just want to get rid of them.
Okay.
So
and this is the white Crip.
Yeah, this is the white Crip.
Okay.
He was from Fresno. I still remember what he looks like to this day. And that motherfucker was with the business. And so we go to the chow hall across the way in the morning, and you know the guy that's got the keys for the white boys lets the homies know, like, hey, we're gonna put the yard down, try to, you know,
act normal.
Be on alert.
Yeah, be on alert, but act normal.
Be on alert, but act normal. And it's just a respect thing. And so we go into the chow hall and we're coming back out. When we're coming out of the chow hall, you got to walk in single line, single file, with your hands behind your back across in reception, back across to the building. And it's cold at that time. Everybody's got jackets on, beanies. You know, you got those denim ass jackets.
PIA, baby.
Yep. And you got your little state issued brown Kool-Aid cup, you know, in your pocket. And so we're coming out of the
Homie said the Kool-Aid cup. So people that don't know, you got to take. Yeah, you got to go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Paint the picture.
Nah, I will, but I'm not, dog. You know what I mean?
Well, that Kool-Aid cup comes back into play.
You bring me back. You're taking me back with that Kool-Aid cup, that brown little coffee mug. You know what I mean? But it's made out of plastic. Hard plastic.
So we're coming back across the yard. We're all walking in single file line, and we're trying to fall back to like get next to this guy. Well, the cop on the loudspeaker comes over, get it back in line, single file. So we're like, fuck. So we get back in line, we go into the building, and at that time, the water wasn't working in our cell. So the guards used to let me and my cellie come out and like fill up a bucket of water and take it into our cell. You know, so we had water. And so we're coming back into the building, and my cellie's like, oh, I got to buy us some time. So he goes up to the podium. He said, hey, can I fill up our bucket with some water? And so they pop our cell. He goes in there, he gets the bucket, he comes down back, and he's filling up the bucket of water. So I'm kind of standing over by the door, and at this time in A1, it was so overflown with you know, inmates that they had bunks in the day room. Yeah. They had like triple bunks in the day room.
I remember that. Yeah.
And so the white Crip comes into the building, and he's with his cellie who sees us standing in the corner, and I think he's already hipped a game. I think the white Crip already knew what time it was too, but his cellie breaks left and just leaves him hanging. So he's crossing across the day room, going to his cell, and we're over by the door. And my cellie comes running back from the, you know, they got that little spigot behind the podium, the little deep where you get water, you know.
Yeah, where the mop buckets and all that shit. Yeah.
So he comes running back, and he's got that, I just never forget, he's got that bucket, and he's coming running around the bunks, and he's like, all right, let's go. And he drops the bucket, and he's like running around the bunks, and we're following him. And he's in front, and me and the other skinhead are behind, and then there's like 3 or 4 other, you know, wood skinheads all keeping point in case, you know, people jump in. So my cellie's just booking it. We're running right across the day room at this cat. Didn't even phase him. Excuse me.
Go ahead. You're good, bro.
Didn't even phase him. He's walking. He's got that stroll, like, you know, he ain't got a care in the world. Jacket on. Sees us running at him. Doesn't even break stride. And my cellie, like, right when he's about to get to him, that white Crip pulls that Kool-Aid cup, pulls it out, and just whack. and it just cracks him right over the forehead. Boom, knocks him out. Knocks my celly out. Like
you skin his celly out.
Yeah, on the ground, dude. Like, wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? Forehead split open, blood everywhere.
He cracked the fuck out
Got
of
him, dude. Well, I mean, he's running full speed, and he just waited till the last minute and just caught him, you know?
Did he yell anything while he was running full speed? Like, white power?
No, but he did. Okay. No, he didn't. And so he gets laid out. I don't know if he was knocked out, but me and the other skinhead are on him. But when he hit my celly, the other couple of cats that were watching ran in, the other woods ran in and jumped in. So now there's 5 of us on this one dude, and 5 on 1, we're doing more damage to each other than, you know, I mean, he's getting out of his jacket. He breaks away from us. Like, we're all sitting there like, he takes off running towards the podium. We chase him down, catch him in front of the podium. By this time, yards down, like, they're on the loudspeaker, sirens are going off. And we catch him in front of the podium, and we're just right there in front of the podium, just bombing on him. We finally get him. He's on the ground. I mean, he's going for his shit, dude. Like, dude's with the business. And so we get him on the ground, and then I hear thump, that block gun. The guard in the tower was right above us. I mean, it couldn't have been more than
You're at the podium. So if people don't know, usually the podium is like directly in front of the tower, and the tower is like this.
Yep.
The tower's like this in the block. So the podium is right here in the middle, and usually where the officer that's running the day room or the block, he hangs out at. You know what I mean? So you got him right here, and you're in plain sight of that.
Plain sight of the whole fucking building.
You're in plain sight of a Mini 14. You're in plain sight of a block gun, whatever they decide they're going to shoot you with.
And on those yards, just for the listeners, they got signs all over the place like no warning shots fired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I hear that block gun, and the cat that was next to me, his name was Kit. He was from, I think, Santa Barbara or something. I just hear him start screaming. He falls on the ground because the block gun, like, hit him in the wrist and snapped his wrist. So he's on the ground screaming. And then, so we're still getting this dude, and the cops from the podium came running around the podium and came running over, and right, like, when I turned around, they just caught me right across the face with that pepper spray. And I mean, I'm sure you've been sprayed with it before, like catching it right across the face, like that shit took all the fight out of all of us, you know, like everybody gets on the ground. My celly at this time is now up and running over and is on top of the white crip, like slamming his head on the concrete going, "You are the enemy," like screaming at the top of his lungs, like slamming his head on the concrete. And then the cops like tackle him, you know, break it up. They call in IGI. They come in because it's even though everybody was white, they know what time it is. You know, they consider race on race.
It's a gang thing.
Yeah. So now they're taking pictures. They're putting out the little triangles with numbers and blood and taking pictures of all your tattoos. They take us four of us over to the other building, A2, and put us in the showers. They take my celly, the homie that got shot with the block gun, and then the white crip all to the infirmary. And, they pull us out. They let us decontaminate. They tell us, like, okay, you guys are going to go back to your cell, pack your shit up. You guys are going to the hole. So they let us all go back into our cells.
Damn, bro.
And because there was 4 of us and there weren't enough, I don't know what the fuck, but they let us go back into our cells, start packing our shit up. Well, my celly's not there, but at this time they released the kitchen crew, the morning kitchen crew that served us breakfast. They released them all back to the block because they're locking the prison down. Well, as soon as they come walking into the building, there's like 4 or 5 white guys on the kitchen crew, and there's probably 10 to 15 blacks. Right when they get inside the building, the blacks rush the whites and just start
on and cracking.
Yeah. A little mini melee in the building, and then they just slam us for 3 months, and being slammed in any prison sucks, but reception, like, you ain't got shit coming. You got no TVs, you barely lucky if you got store or coffee, like, you got no action at each other. So yeah, I remember my counselor came back after that. I was gonna go to fire camp and I had like level 2 points, and he came and he's like, "Oh, you want to be a tough guy? You want to fucking go where the tough guys go? You going to level 3 yard. And then just fucking slam my packet down and like left. And yeah, I was like, no, I want to go to fire camp.
Your fire camp dreams are over with,
yeah,
sir.
The fire camp is nil and void.
The fire is officially extinguished.
Yeah. So that's when, got level 3 points and they sent me down to Ironwood.
Okay.
Yeah. Went and hit Ironwood. Did probably 16 months probably 14 months in Ironwood. And then right before I was about to parole, they transferred me down to Sentinella. And I finished off my couple months in Sentinella on 3 yard.
Okay, so you finish off your couple months in Sentinella, and where do you go from there?
So when I get out of prison, catching parole, like that very first time, it's like Christmas Day. You don't think it's, and I didn't think it was going to happen because, you go on S time and then they start running your name through every freaking database and
100%.
You see homies get ganked up like right when they think they're going home, and that's what I was worried about, like with banks and, all kinds of other dumb shit. Like I was like, fuck, man, I'm never going home, and when they said Hargrove, roll it up, I got to finally, they dropped me off at the bus station in El Centro. And my mom, I'll never forget, both my brothers were there to pick me up. And I paroled to my mom's house out in Bermuda Dunes, out by Coachella. And then
that's the middle of nowhere.
Yep. Hot as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I paroled to mom's house, and then I was on high control parole because of the crime that I committed. And, mom's talking shit to the parole officer, like, you can't go in my bedroom. It's like, yeah, I can go wherever the fuck I want, but ended up, like, doing what I needed to do to get past parole, like, stayed clean. Like, got out, got a job, like, was doing good. And then, ended up meeting another girl and ended up getting married and then got back on the drugs again, dude.
You got back on the drugs.
Got strung the fuck out again.
On heroin.
Mm-hmm. Heroin and cocaine.
Heroin and cocaine.
Right back at it.
I mean, some people, it's hard for them to, like, people that haven't been through this, right? Yeah. It's hard for them to just compute it in their head. Like, bro, you went through this shit, this and that. And I mean, but the addiction is just fucking crazy, bro. Like, there was a point in my life, bro, where, I mean, I didn't know how to fuck without being high on drugs, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was high on drugs, I fucked like an animal. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it becomes not only an addiction, but a fucking lifestyle, bro.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, when I was slamming so much, like, even in between all that, like, at one point I had caught botulism from slamming so much. Like, I had collapsed every single vein in my body. So,
is that what botulism is?
No. So I was shooting up so much that I like couldn't find veins anymore. I mean, I was shooting up in my dick, like my forehead, like everywhere.
I mean, when it comes to a point in your life where you're shooting up in your dick, bro, I mean, the pride and joy of fucking man, right? And I mean, the dick, you know what I mean? I mean, like, bro, like, what's going through your head while you're putting a needle in your fucking dick, bro?
Like, I hope this motherfucker works after this, like, straight up. I mean, fuck. But you're at that point where it's like, I guess they got shit for this, but I need to get high right now. Like, that's what the mindset was, and I had collapsed all my veins. So I just started to get well. I just started muscling it in my ass, like in my butt cheeks, like steroids, just sitting there, sticking the needle in a muscle and just squeezing the heroin in. Well, I was getting so many abscesses like on my ass that like it got into my bloodstream. So I started like losing my vision, started losing everything, and they ended up taking me to the hospital down in Newport Beach at Hoag Hospital. And the rare infectious disease doctor came in and like inspected me, like took off my clothes, saw the abscesses, and was like, he's got botulism from heroin use, from the dirty dope, like sitting in those pockets of like abscesses, and getting into. So they automatically had to rush me in, like they put me on like. They had to cut a tracheotomy in me. Like, I had to get a colostomy bag. was shitting in a bag for a year, like was in the hospital for almost 2 months. And they had to give me the antidote to either your body takes it or it denies it. And my body, thankfully, accepted the antidote. And then, it was a year-long recovery of getting back well. Mom fucking took care of me the whole time, changing my bandages on my ass, like doing everything she could to be like a solid mom. And I still like went out and got fucked up after that. So, I mean, to your point, like, losing my father to drug abuse, botulism, going to prison, overdosing, multiple times. And it still wasn't enough to keep me clean, And it wasn't until, like, it was April 1st, 2016. I remember I showed up on my mom's doorstep, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm sick of being a fucking liar. I'm sick of being a piece of shit. Like, I'm sick of, like, I'm just, the whole fucking cliche saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and it sucks because, like, all these other, like, momentous, like, things in my life that I could have learned from and took as tools to move on, like, I just used as excuses to keep going, to keep getting loaded. And I don't know what it was. Like, I guess I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. So April 1st, 2016 was the last time I stuck a needle in my arm.
And so, I mean, so you said this date, bro, that you got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, were you coming off of dope, or were you winging yourself off of dope?
So
you never went back to prison.
No, that was the last time. Like, it didn't. The next time I used, I was married at the time. Like, had a job, but then was like, family automatically stopped talking to me, cut me off. Like, you're done. Did everything because they've already been through it. Like, they're not going to sit there and watch me kill myself.
You were already being shunned from the family.
Yeah, like, go somewhere else and fucking kill yourself. Like, that's how, like, it like when my grandmother told me that, like, she was preparing herself to be able to deal with the phone call that she was going to get that I was dead. Like, that shit hit home, And like, it sucks that you got to put any family member through that, of getting them to that point where they mentally have to prepare themselves. Like, the next phone call I get, like, he's going to be gone, and I got to be okay with it. I can't let it, like, just wreck my life because it'll be too unbearable. And, like, the fact that I had to put my family through that shit, like, and it sucks because I see my brother doing the same thing today, doing the same thing my dad did to us, he's putting his son through. And it's like...
Is he younger or older brother?
He's younger.
How much younger?
3 years.
3 years. So he's not too far away from your journey.
No.
While he's kind of like been in the background watching you, and it's probably safe to say that you've been a very bad example to him.
For a long time. For a long time. And
I mean, do you ever feel responsible for his demise in life, like just, his downfall, right?
Absolutely, because, like I said, we lost our dad in 2005, so I feel like, I was supposed to be that next in line to step up and show him the way. And, I failed at that. And the only thing that I can do today, like, I can't say I'm sorry. Like, I can't, like, words are...
You can't say sorry to who?
Well, to family, like, anybody, like, that I've done, like, wrong. Like, I'm sorry, like, I stole from you. I'm sorry, like...
I mean, so in other words, what's done is done. Like, take me for now that I'm good.
Well, the way I do it, like, is... Like, they've heard all the I'm sorries, you know what I mean?
Because
like,
you wore that out.
Fucking wore that out. And then some, Yeah. And the only thing that they respond to is me showing them,
Show
like,
me state, baby.
Yeah, like, you said you're sorry. Show me that you can, be clean and not stick that needle on your arm and not steal from us and be present, answer your phone when we call and, your voicemail's not full, and you know, pay your own bills and become a responsible fucking adult in society. Take care of your family. Take care of your, you know, they want to leave this earth knowing that I'm good. And I want to be the representation for my brother, like, hey, it's never too late. You know, I turned my life around when I was 38 years old.
Let's go, baby.
It's never too late. Like,
better late than never, baby.
And I just don't want my brother's pride to kill him, you know, like.
But he's fucking up right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to an outpatient program and trying it that way, but like, I'm back at the point where it's like the show me, you know, and it sucks because now I'm on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Feeling all those feelings that I put my family through for the last 20 years, you know what I mean? Like that karma coming back, like, hey, motherfucker, like, don't forget where you came from, because, you know, you're gonna, and I even get more pissed off at my brother because I'm like, dude, like, just keep it real with me. Like, I know, I've been there, I've lied, I've done it all. Like, there ain't nothing you can tell me that's gonna surprise me. But, like, keep it real with me. And he's still, like, trying to pull the wool over on everyone's eyes. And that is only gonna hurt himself if he doesn't just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to own up to all that shit. Look your family in the face and say, I'm sorry, like, but let's move forward. You know, are you going to hold this against me and keep me enchained and you know, the I'm sorries and the misery of trying to repay you guys back? Or are you guys going to be there to say, you know what, good job on getting that job. Good job on getting that promotion. Good job on, you know, being able to buy your own car. Good job on being able to buy your own home. You know, like that's the best gift I could give my family, is doing, you know, what I'm doing right now. And
let's talk about that right now. But right now, I want you to look at the comments. Why Lucky takes a leak again? Sorry, guys. I mean, it's running through me. My bad.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Look at the comments. Holler at them real quick. And I have some questions for you, brother.
See those faces?
So what would you say made you actually start taking those steps into like going down that path of getting into drugs? Like, what was, like, if you have to look back at it, why did you keep going harder and harder into it?
I honestly, like, I think it was something, like, to be honest, like, I would look at my father and see that he was like a functioning addict, to where he could lose a job and get a better job, you know, lose a job, get a better job, and like still keep getting high and bouncing back and forth from that life. So like, I thought I could do it, you know, I could do the same thing, but every time like I got loaded, I was a fucking bust. You know, like I go 0 to 60 real fast, you know, and it probably has a lot to do with the heroin and cocaine, you know. It's just falling right off the deep end of losing my job, lying to everybody, you know.
I'm gonna let Lucky take my seat.
Good feeling, bub.
K9's eating a spread of a fucking dog bowl right now, bro.
Love it.
You know the dog actually ate out of that bowl, right, dog?
I watched it.
They don't call him K9 for nothing and shit. So, brother, I apologize about the little break that I took right now. But so you had that, just like the tired of being tired, bro. You hollered at your family. I mean, we talked about the show me state. We talked about your brother, bro. You know what I mean? 38 years old, bro. You know what I mean? 30 years old to finally have a recollection of just like, you know what? Enough is enough. I need to change my life. You know what I mean? How is it when a dude is 38 years old and finally has that? What has been the journey for you?
I mean, to be honest, like, I feel like I earned it. I worked for it. Like, as soon as I showed up at my parents' house, like, I hit my cousin up, and he contacted his buddy who's an electrician and has his own little company, and he said, hey, my cousin's trying to do the right thing, and he needs a job. And he took a chance on me and put me to work. I think I was making $14 an hour, like started at the bottom, like wiring receptacles. But the thing is like, I fucking loved it, man. Like I wanted to earn it. I didn't care. I was at that point where I didn't care where I worked. I didn't care if I worked at McDonald's. Like, I wasn't going to let my pride get in the way of my sobriety. I wasn't going to let my pride get in the way of me transitioning into being a responsible adult in society. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. Like, I worked for the homie, and was, like I said, wiring receptacles. And then that turned into, me getting another job with another company. And, just by being reliable, being on time, and outworking the next dude next to me, like, I was able to kind of move up past these other cats, you know what I mean? And that's what I did. So each company I would land with, like, I would get promoted,
As an electrician.
As an electrician, yeah. You know the road. And
yeah.
and I feel like when you earn what you got, you keep it. You know what I mean?
Can't take that from you.
And when it's just handed to you, it's a lot easier to lose it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't appreciate it as much. I'm not saying all the time, but I'm saying, like, if all that was just given to me, like a 6-figure job and, your truck and, like, good life, like, all that, like, I got that easy, I can get it back. You know what I mean? But nah,
because you have the skill set now.
Yeah. I earned that shit. Like,
Yeah.
I put in my work. I put in my time. I took that journeyman test. I took that journeyman test 4 times in a row until I finally passed it.
4 times, bro.
Fuck, man, that motherfucker, I was starting to feel like I was stupid. Fuck that test, man. But once I passed it, bro, it made it that much fucking sweeter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when you're walking out of there and they pass that paper across to you.
Electrician, baby.
And it's not like, hey, fucking, we'll let you know in 2 weeks. It's like, right now, you're gonna find out whether you pass or fail.
And that's another reason why I wanted to have this homie on right here, because he's a fellow electrician, you know what I mean? And he may be on the non-union side, I might be on the union side, but it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? The trade is the trade, you know what I mean? And we all work hard for our position, and it's not easy.
Nah.
Especially the non-union side, it's not easy. You really, it's a fucking dog world on that side, you know what I mean? Opposed to the union side, where it's a lot more structured, and it is what it is. Your first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, you're a journeyman, you so on and so forth, you know what I mean? But that's why I wanted to have homie on, because he's a fellow electrician that changed his life with the trade as well.
Yeah.
And it feels good. It feels sorry, brother.
No, you're good.
But it feels good to feel worth something when you learn a trade. A trade is amazing, dog. Like, check it out. If this podcast shit doesn't end up working for me, so be it. You know what I do? I'm going to keep on doing what I've been doing to pay the bills. This don't pay the bills. I'm going to be an electrician, dog. You know what I mean? And to learn a trade, if in any level, plumbing, framer, roofers, you know what I mean? Pipe fitter, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? You have that on your belt, so you are worth a value, and you learned a trade that now you are a valuable asset to your family, opposed to a detriment.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I grew with the company too. I mean, I started out as an apprentice, and now I'm moved up to a superintendent with a big corporate electrical company, and I'm running crews of 30, 40 guys, and like, I never thought like I'd be in a position like that where guys respect you, and you earn it. But it, like I said, man, it makes it that much sweeter, and it just goes to show you, like, you want it bad enough, you're gonna get it. You know what I mean? But you got to put in the work. Like, that's how you're gonna keep it. Anybody can get it, but can you keep it? You know what I mean?
And for cats that are wondering, Preston, give me that bag that's in that refrigerator, please. For cats that are wondering that, how do you keep it? I mean, obviously you got to know your shit.
Yeah.
But what is the best way of keeping something, bro? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was like we talked about earlier. I think that you got to surround yourself with the right people. You got to keep with those like-minded people. And if you're just, surrounding yourself with people that are going to keep trying to bring you down and doing that, like, you're gonna lose it, you know. And you're enough times being around that shit, like you're gonna fall off that wagon. And like that's what I do. Like I got a great one in my life today. Like and I feel like the only reason that I found her was because I was at that point in my life where like it was timing, like it was perfect timing that I leveled up to her level, you know what I mean? Because she's already a boss bitch. But like for me to get lucky enough to snag a boss bitch, like I feel like a little confidence of being a boss motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, brother. Yes. I mean, salute to your lady, brother. You know what I mean? For being a boss, bro. You know what I mean? Because independence of a female is huge. You know what I mean? When she feels like she can pull her weight, you know what I mean? Even with like my girl right now, I'm taking time off from work just so she can go to school because I want her to like feel like valuable. Like, you know what? I almost like real shit. Like, I'm not one of these fatal ass dudes, bro, that needs to like, oh, you need me. Like, no, I want you to feel independent. Yeah. Like, you don't need me. Like, you can leave me right now and still live your best fucking life. You don't need me and my fucking job and my Lucky's bullshit. You know what I mean? If you, any motherfucker that's out there right now that's holding their female down from being the best person she could be, you got one life, baby, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? And if you know anything other, put me up on it. Yeah. But like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, woman empowerment is huge, you know what I mean? And I don't ever want her to feel like she's stuck with me. Why? Because I'm paying the bills and this and that. Like, girl, be a boss, you know what I mean? And honestly, to me, that shit is attractive as fuck.
Fuck yeah, dude. And I mean, you want a girl to be with you because she wants to be, not because she has to be, you know? And it's a good feeling when you feel, because I feel that same way. I feel like I'm with her because I want to be, because not because I have to be. Like I need her, you know, like I need her income, or I need her to pay the bills, or, you know, like we elevate each other. Like she grinds just as hard as I do, and that's like you said, man. That shit's sexy as fuck, dude. That shit's sexy as fuck.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's open to the phone lines, guys.
Here we go.
You ready for the phone lines?
Shoot it.
The phone lines are always the best part. Homie said, shoot it. Let's open up the phone lines, everybody. It's about that time where we open up the phone lines. You know what I mean? Tell them what you... Oh, shit, they're already going. All right, let's go right here. Hold on real quick. You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Yo, I was hearing your guest earlier saying that he was from Missouri or something. I'm actually working right now doing some electrical work. I'm in the parking lot doing paperwork and shit. But where are you from in Missouri, man?
Missouri?
Yeah, I thought you said you were from Missouri.
Nah. Did I?
Nah.
Well, you guys keep saying show me state.
Is Missouri the show me state?
Yeah, fool.
Yeah, fool. What the fuck's wrong with you? Sorry, brother.
I just was picking up the show me state shit. I haven't watched the whole thing because I'm working and shit, but I thought you said you were from like Missouri or some shit.
Nah, I'm Cali boy. Born and raised.
Oh, word.
Born and raised.
Well, then fuck you.
There we go, baby. Love you, doggy.
All love.
Hell yeah. Well, fuck you then, Lucky. I mean, let me be the motherfucker, bro. You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
Yo.
Hey, trying to get to Dino.
What's good?
Yeah, turn the volume down in the background first.
All right, got you. Hello?
Yeah.
Speak on it.
Hey, can you hear me, Dino?
Yeah. What's good?
Hey, let that be the first and last time you bring up the porta potty. This Montero, not fucking.
Weasel
What's
gang.
up, Dino? It's your boy Ruben. You already know.
Yeah, I already know. You out here talking shit.
Hell yeah, stay talking shit.
Yep. What's good?
Hell yeah, just want to say you're a solid brother, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You know, I feel the same way.
Hell yeah. See you on the next project.
All right, Bubba.
All right, later.
Later.
That's cool. That's tight. Next, Foco. You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
Yo, what's up, Bessie?
What's good?
What's up,
Hey, what's going on?
Huh?
Hey, I'd like to know what happened to his Armenian friend. Did he have a heart attack? How'd you disinfect that guy?
No, so trip out. So when I got out of prison, I reached out to him. It was like right when MySpace was starting to end and Facebook was just popping off. And I had my brother create me an account, and I reached out to him to apologize, because like that was fucked up, like even though he didn't get in trouble, he didn't get busted. Like I think his car was like still flagged, like used in a robbery. So I think every time he got pulled over, like, they were. So he sold his car, but he actually moved. He had gastric bypass surgery and got married and moved to Armenia. So I think he shook the country, like, I don't know.
He's probably in Ukraine right now, fucking fighting with the Russians.
Yeah, fuck. You never know. But
well,
send him back to Armenia.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
What are good friends for?
All right, thanks. All right, Vatos, have a good day.
Appreciate it.
Fuck you.
You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
What's good?
You gotta turn the volume down in the background, bro.
Oh, my bad. Hey, Loki.
Yeah.
¿Cómo estás, hermano?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Bien, al 100.
Yes, sir.
Sí, portándote bien, ¿no?
What's cracking, my G? What do you got to ask Dino, dog?
Pues nada, aquí nomás. Representando. Guanajuato hasta arriba.
All right, brother. Any questions for Dino, my G?
All right.
Pues, go collab with West Coast Graffiti in the podcast.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've been on this podcast, bro. You know what I mean?
Háblale ahorita, háblale.
All right, sounds good, brother.
Ahorita.
Yeah. Next phone call. There we go. Chachilla right here. Kanan always perks up every time he hears Chachilla.
Hell yeah. That pen pal.
You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
What? I ain't no pen pal from South Chile.
I didn't mean you, Bob.
Can you guys hear me or not?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, Dino. Hey, you were with Sandman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
That's how. Yeah, that's how. When I saw that, I follow Hood Stocks.
Yeah.
Hey, Lucky.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
He's a goonie.
I love you too, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you, dog.
Yeah.
You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
What's up, Luck?
What up, baby?
Chilling, homeboy. What's up, Dino?
What's up, homie?
Hey, man, it's crazy to hear your story, dog. You know what I mean? Like, the whole story, and then you get with a hyena that holds you down. It's kind of like what I've been through. You know what I mean? Like, I got a good lady. You kept me out of the fucking bullshit, and I respect all the stuff you said about your story, bro. And look, you're doing fucking straight sick ass shit on the fucking podcast, homeboy.
Thank you, brother. We trying, dog. We trying to elevate. We trying to get real professional on this shit, dog. You know what I mean?
Hey, homie, I'm gonna fucking join that fucking $2.99.
Dog. But if it's gonna stop you from paying your fucking child support, don't do it, dog. I mean,
negative. No, it's not gonna stop me, dog.
Thank you, brother.
Support you.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, bro. And I'll try to.
Fucking big bad Hood Stocks.
Yeah, baby. Big bad Hood Stocks, dog.
That's right.
We in the building, dog. We doing this shit,
Have a
dog.
buenas noches, homeboy.
And likewise, baby.
Oh, yeah. All
Buenas
love,
noches,
man. I
dog.
appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, dog.
Igualmente, homeboy. Hey, buenas noches.
All right, my G.
So I say, hey, Dino, can you bring me in some In-N-Out? I'm starving. Yeah. Yes, what's up, Cole?
Yeah, we got everybody that's tapped in right now. Like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Tell a friend, dog.
Subscribe to Luck, man. He's a real one, dude. And they're doing it right here. And if you ain't fucking with them yet, you need to learn, because you're gonna learn today.
You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
Yo, I'm live right now or what?
You live, baby.
All right, my boy. I got a question for Lucky. All right, Lucky. Since you get up, big dog, you get up to go to the bathroom all the time, my boy. I'm gonna send you some Depends, my boy.
I use them, bro. I'll use them, dog. I mean, I'll use them, dog. I mean, what's life without shitting and pissing on yourself, dog?
Hey, I love what you're doing, though, bro. I love what you're doing, dog. Keep up the positivity, my boy, and stay blessed. And Dino,
What's up?
good. You did that 180, bro. You know what I mean? And turn your life around, bro. You're an inspiration to the rest of us, homie.
Hey, I appreciate
y'all have
it,
a
man.
blessed night, homie. All right, muchas gracias.
Hey, bless you too, man. I appreciate you.
They want to send me Depends, dog. I mean, sometimes the bladder, bro. The bladder's got to go.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Absolutely. So, Dino.
What's good?
I think we're done with these phone calls right here because I just fucking cut them
Will
off.
you hang
right
up
now.
on him?
No, I didn't hang up on nobody, dog, but I just turned them down right now, dog. This has been
3 hours?
This has been 3 hours. Wow.
Damn, son.
3 hours. What do we do now?
I don't know. We just sit here, do that phone sex thing we were talking about.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, I got the white PIA boxers. Turn around backwards.
Turn around backwards. Dino
Nuts the butts.
Nuts the butts. Just don't put the nut on the butt. One more phone call. One more phone call, then we end this out, baby. 3 hours. I think that's good. You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
Hey, let's hear a war story.
What's that?
Let's hear a war story.
Okay. Coming right up, doggy. You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
You there?
You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
Hey, buenas noches. How's everybody doing?
Good, bro.
We're good, man.
Hey, you know, this episode kind of hit home tonight. I just had a homie we've been best friends since we were 5 years old, just passed away last week from pills, bro. So, you know, it's good to see people, you know, before they lose themselves, kind of catch themselves. And I'm happy for you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking awesome to hear your story, man.
Hey, man,
some real shit.
I'm sorry about your fam too. You know, like that shit, like that shit hurts when you know, I know the addicts are still out there struggling, and I feel for you because I know like addiction has touched everybody around the world in one way, shape, or form, and you know, I'm gonna say a prayer for you tonight.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. And you know what, bro? Like, it's fucking heartbreaking, and more so because, you know, I'm 36 years old. I'm a father of 3 little girls. I just had a little boy like 3 months ago, and my homeboy fucking hadn't met him yet, and he was supposed to come the following day when he passed away to fucking finally meet this fool. And you know, I mean, it's just fucking heartbreaking, bro. But it is what it is, and you know, it's just gotta keep moving. But it's kind of sad, man, to hear your story too, bro. Like, you know, and the people you've lost along the way as well, you know. But in that process, you found yourself, you know what I mean, and came above it. So it's encouraging to hear your story, bro.
I mean, hopefully, like I can give you some hope on this platform, you know. And this is honestly, I know why Lucky does it, and I know why I do it is because of this right here, touching the people that, like, you know, that make an impact. They might take one thing away from this, and if it's in a positive light, like, it made it completely worth it.
100%.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate it for sure, man. Both of y'all.
My condolences, G. We're gonna move on to the next phone caller, dog. Thank you for calling,
have
brother.
a good night.
You too. You're on Hood Stock. We had a fucking phone call from I believe Jackson, Wyoming. If you want to call back, go ahead and call back. I like to get the different states.
Yeah, get a little different love.
Yeah, a different look,
Missouri,
a different perspective.
The show me state. The show me how many times you didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I had no idea, bro, that it was a show me state.
Were we saying show me state?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say show me state. I ain't from the fucking whoop-de-woo. I'm from the show me state. Yeah, here we go right here. You're on Hood Stocks. Go ahead. That motherfucker was underwater.
He hung up.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, brother, this has been amazing, dog. I mean, you've done a lot of podcasts, bro.
I appreciate you, though.
I mean, you've done interviews.
Yeah, I've never done a podcast.
Yeah, so this is the here's his dude back right here. Let me see what he's got to say right here. You're on Hood Stocks. Talk to us.
Hey, what happened to the down ass Hyena?
Oh, she actually passed away. Yeah, she overdosed probably about 10 years ago. But yeah, it took. I mean, it did take her life, and you know, it just goes to show you that nobody's immune to this epidemic. And I'm just honestly like, I think my lucky stars that I got out before the fentanyl thing, because I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, it's a hard thing.
Yeah, I know myself, and I know, like, I would have abused that shit, and it would have got me.
Yeah. All right, thanks. Just curious what happened to her, because she sounded.
Thank you, brother. I don't mean to cut you off. You're on Hood Stocks. Last phone call.
What's up, Lucky Nice ass?
Huh?
He said nice ass. We'll end it on that.
You know you can. You know you got a big ass when you can see it from the front side.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He said, I saw him go to the bathroom.
That boy got hips.
You got that.
Anyways, brother, this has been dope. This has been dope. This has been amazing. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Everybody, give it up for Dino, and we are out of here.
Yeah.